Check, check. Check.
9 fall teams end their season holding hardware. We'll recap a busy weekend in the pool, on the court, and in the dome. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. The first 2 football champions were crowned on Saturday at the Superior Dome in Marquette with the MHSAA 8-player championships. In Division I, Martin defeated Merrill 74-24 to capture the trophy. Martin had been runner-up the last 2 seasons, but brings home the hardware this year. J.R. Hildebrand ran for 190 yards and 4 touchdowns, while Carter Ribble added 133 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Hildebrand also threw a touchdown to Sam Jaeger as the Clippers put up nearly 500 yards of total offense. For Merrill, Joel Tack threw for 328 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Vandals ended the year 12-1. In Division II, guess who? The North Central Jets won their 3rd straight title, beating Mendon 66-26. The win is North Central's 37th straight victory. The Jets returned the game's opening kickoff for a score as Elijah Gorzinski went 85 yards to start things off. Luke Gorzinski threw for 207 yards and 4 scores. Jacob Gorzinski ran for 130 yards and a score. Lane Gorzinski scored a rushing touchdown, and there was probably someone with the last name Gorzinski selling popcorn at halftime. Mendon ends the year 10-3. Jake McCaw scored 3 times and Evan Lukeman once for the Hornets. Complete coverage of both games is available at MHSAA.com. Game balls this week go to the Ann Arbor Pioneer girls swimming and diving team. They won their 3rd straight D1 title and 19th overall. Northville was 2nd. The East Grand Rapids girls swimming and diving team, they were best in the water in Division II. Jenison was 2nd. And to the Bloomfield Hills Marion girls swimming and diving team, they were tops in Division III, with Holland Christian swimming 2nd.
Need money for college? You need My Student Aid. My Student Aid is the go-to resource that helps Michigan families find money to pay for college. Plus, they'll guide you through the financial aid process and answer any questions you have. For grants, scholarships, and more, connect with My Student Aid, helping make college affordable for everyone. Learn more at michigan.gov/MIStudentAid.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with the MHSAA's Sam Davis.
There's a change to the instant replay process for the football finals at Ford Field. All potential scoring and turnover plays will continue to be automatically reviewed. But new this year, coaches will be allowed to challenge one play per regulation with some restrictions. First, a team must have a timeout available and call it to initiate a review. Second, there's a limited number of items that can be reviewed. Those include catch or no catch, ball carrier in or out of bounds, forward or backward pass, and a handful of others. If successful, the coach will be given back the timeout and can make one more challenge in regulation. In overtime, coaches can challenge once, no matter how many overtime periods are played, and only if they have a timeout.
Thanks, Sam. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you are interested, go to the MHSAA website now to register. On the volleyball court in Battle Creek, 4 teams earned MHSAA championships at Kellogg Arena. In Division 4, Mount Pleasant Sacred Heart dropped the first 2 sets to Athens, but came roaring back to win the next 3, winning their first finals title in the process. There was another first-time winner in Division 3. Pewamo Westphalia defeated Kalamazoo Christian in 4 sets, winning the first 2 sets, dropping the third, and then winning the fourth, 25-17. In Division 2, North Branch knocked off Cadillac in straight sets. It's North Branch's 4th volleyball title and first since 2016. And in Division 1, Marion beat Northville in 4 sets to cap a tremendous season. Marion finishes 49-1, losing only once in the regular season, and that was to the runner-ups from Northville. For stories, stats, and more from the volleyball finals, please check out MHSAA.com. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. This is our last edition of This Week in High School Sports for this calendar year. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll see you in 2023.
To head over the timeline to Gable. Gable straight to the basket, elevates, slams it down over top of Orbaugh. Won't get it. Ryan dribbles to the corner. 15 seconds to go. Ryan, Vanderjack up fake, launches a 3. Good! Oh my goodness! Out to the point. Rosema, innocent space. Shot scores! 2-goal lead for the Bulldogs. 4 unanswered. Giving on to Titus. Titus angles, pull up shot for the lead. Good! Brady Titus, a scream to the heavens after he knocks it down.
And hello, everyone, and welcome to VanderSlice Gymnasium. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, and welcome to game night. Already the tip-off of the 2022-2023 basketball campaign, and we've got a great one here on game night to start off this season, and a great weekend in general, by the way. I'll already start to give some shameless plugs. Tune in tomorrow starting at 2 o'clock from Van Ord Arena at Calvin University. We have games 1, 2, and 3 of the invite from Calvin, and then Eric Wells and the Grand Rapids Catholic Central Michigan Sports Radio team will have the final game as they take on Rockford. So a lot of great games. We'll have plenty of time to preview that. But in this one, CT, typically the first game of a season is one that is slower. It is one that maybe is grinding. It is one that maybe the players are getting into basketball shape. They're getting their legs maybe a little. The skill may not quite be back. It's going to have to come to you. Well, Coach Desmond Young for the Bulldogs in his second season has started out the campaign by scheduling Coach Vanderklay and the Wyoming Wolves. Chandler, what does that mean about this game?
This game could be a little wild, I
think?
Yeah, I think we saw this matchup a couple years ago, and yeah, things got a little hectic. That wasn't the first matchup of the season, so I mean,
right.
It's always going to take a little bit of time. There's going to be some mistakes made. Things are a little out of control anytime you're coming into a new season, especially. I mean, you've had some scrimmages and some practice for a couple weeks at this point, but just getting up to that game speed. But I think you jump full speed right into this one. It'll be interesting.
Absolutely. This is the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. We got about 3:42 still in the JV game, which, by the way, the Grandville JV team has handled business in this game over the Wyoming team, 57-35 right now. So good performance by that program. As I mentioned, though, the coach is Coach Vanderklay, as experienced and as good as it gets in West Michigan. Coach Thom Vanderklay in his 38th season at the helm of various Wyoming programs, of course, back when there were multiple schools that have now merged back into one. And year 2 for head coach Desmond Young. We talked to him in the Coach's Corner segment that's coming up, so I won't give away too much. But Chandler, we saw him grow so much as a coach. Year one and a former assistant from Grand Rapids Christian. We saw the system grow last year. We saw the team. We now see the program in year two. There is as much excitement bubbling around this program for Grandville basketball as I think we've seen in a few years.
Yeah, I think so. I think Coach Young did a tremendous job last season developing the guys on the team, getting them to really have a solid product by the end of the year, a really good team, top to bottom, that played well together. You could see the system start to take place and be effective, and now I think, of course, you lose some of those guys from last year's team, some key contributors, but you bring a lot of guys back that got a year under this coaching staff in this system that are looking to continue that momentum moving forward.
Yeah, and we'll be able to really – we always lose the banner here. That's the number one thing. I love being back at VanderSlice Gymnasium because the banner's going to snap down at me at some point in time. I've been told to be less mean when the kids knock it down. Apparently, I've had a mean face before about it. That's neither here nor there. I
have no idea what you're talking about.
We've got some time to kill. That's why we're buying a little bit of time right now with this JV game still continuing here on the Scott Bates Agency pregame show. I think this, though, is as good of time as any to save us and save any professionalism that may remain with this broadcast and with this organization and send it over to our Coach's Corner segment with head coach Desmond Young. Here's Coach Young as he gets ready to enter his second season at the helm of the Bulldogs team.
Jerry opened the letter. An eviction notice? He and his family couldn't bear to move again. It was warm and they had plenty of space for their acorns. Anxiety took a hold of him. Then suddenly...
You've got squirrels in your engine and they chew through the wiring.
And it was covered, thanks to a farmer's agent. Engine Bay Squatters, May 23rd, 2015. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today at 616-531-3441. Your local farmer's agent who helps you plan for the unexpected.
I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. I've heard it said that professional coaches measure success in rings, college coaches measure success in championships, and high school coaches measure it in titles. But youth coaches measure success in smiles. At Centennial Securities, we're like the youth coach. Our success is measured by the smiles on the faces of our satisfied clients. If you're a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Welcome back, everyone, to MGN and our Coach's Corner segment. Now joined by the head coach of the Grandville Bulldogs, Desmond Young. Coach, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm glad it's Friday, and getting ready for the weekend. Had to practice in a little while, but what about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I'm excited for basketball season to tip off right here, and let's get right into it. Second year, of course, here for you coming in as a head coach in general at the varsity level, and also as the head coach of the Bulldogs. I guess let's start by taking a look back on that first season, some of the lessons that you maybe learned, and the excitement that you bring from that, from those lessons into year two coming up here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Last year, I thought everything went by so fast. You get your first varsity job, you don't really know all the ins and outs of what really takes to be a very successful program. But then once you get in the season, I feel like everything just goes by so fast. And then you get into the OK conference and OK Red, and it's just a grind all day. Every game you got to come to play, home or away. I think that's one of the things that I took away is being prepared every single game for every single game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I'm excited to see this season, what's coming up, and a really interesting team you bring back. We'll get into a lot of the different pieces of returners and you guys as well, but the first talking point that you've seen a lot of stories around is your junior forward, Cam Regneris, and a guy that's starting to pick up a lot of D2 and maybe more type offers coming up right here. It looks like a lot of growth that he's had in this offseason. Tell us a little bit where Cam is at and what we can kind of start to expect from him going into year two here at the varsity level.
Yeah, Cam has taken a major step in his development from when I got him last year until now. And I think for him, he's at the point now, I think he's finally starting to love the game of basketball. I always thought he liked it, but now I can see the next step for him is actually loving it. And he's actually putting the time into it every single day. He's grown. He's one guy that, he wants this, and you can kind of see that from his play at the end of last year, going into the summer and in the preseason so far.
Yeah, absolutely. just seeing some of kind of the preseason talking of different scouts and things that have seen him, talking about the jump shot and the different things that he started to develop. That's really exciting, especially with some of the other pieces that I think are both returning and new around him. So let's kind of start first, Coach, looking at the guards. Obviously, you look at guys like Tyson Mann, Ryder Haight, Quentin Hendrickson, Drew Hungerford kind of as a guard and a wing, guys that are returning, some other guys as well coming in. Tell us a little bit about this backcourt mix that you have this year, because it seems like a really exciting one to be able to add to this attack that you have.
Yeah, honestly, I think the difference between this year compared to last year is going to be guard play, in the sense of I think we have a little bit more firepower from the guards. We'll be more consistent on the offensive end. I think last year we were kind of stagnant, but I think this year we'll get a lot of ball movement. We'll shoot the ball from the perimeter, and I think that's the one thing about the guards that we have returning, between Tyson, Quentin Hendrickson, Ryder, those guys, Drew Hungerford. They played significant minutes last year, and I know Tyson started every game last year. Quentin started playing a lot towards the end of the year. Those guys have been around, they're around for the summer and stuff like that. So it's an interesting group between our guards and our forwards and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I guess kind of combine then also maybe looking at the 4 spot, the 3 some as well. Tell us about kind of what those pieces are looking like, some of the newcomers as well that we can expect with this team, along with some of those established names that we know from last year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, 4 spot, the 4 spot or the 3 spot. I mean, Corbin Heckman, he played a little bit last year. He backed up Cam some. He'll probably slide into that 4 spot. I can go I can go some different directions if I want to bring in more shooting. The guy like Logan Stockwell, he was a junior last year. He didn't really play much, but he's probably had the biggest summer out of a lot of our guys that people don't even know much about. And so he'll slide in there a little bit. And then I have a sophomore up on varsity as well, and Colin Habor. He can shoot the ball. He's a shooter too. So I mean, I have some different options I can go that will go with the Tyson Manns, the Quentin Hendricksons, and the Ryders, and then Cam.
Yeah, no, that's great, because I think you look at this team, and last year, the defense you guys brought to the table every night. It's why every single game of the OK Red, even on nights where you guys frankly had your offensive struggles, you found a way to stay in there every single night. Tell us a little bit about that. Last year's a lot of physical, kind of quarter court, half court man, principles. I know at Grand Rapids Christian you ran some more press stuff when you were there with that program. What is kind of the defensive philosophy looking like this year? More of the same, maybe some other stuff mixed in there. How is that going to look?
For me, I'm a man-to-man guy. I mean, I think everybody knows that. The difference is, yes, we lack a little physical strength compared to this year, but the difference that we can make up with is we're a lot quicker and we're a lot faster. I mean, I'm still going to be the man-to-man guy, half-court guy. I'm not a press guy just because I just don't have the numbers to really do that. But I think the defensive principles will still be the same. Obviously, our biggest goal is, we got to keep Cam on the court. I mean, he can't get in foul trouble for us, because then we're thin behind him. So protecting him, I think we'll do a better job with keeping guards in front of us this year versus getting driven by. Because I thought last year we got driven by some guards a lot, and I think this year we can keep some guys in front of us. Yeah,
no, that's great. And let's take a look, kind of previewing quick your spot within the OK Red. The OK Red is always wide open, but this year the amount of coaching changes, player changes, everything we've seen, I think it's as open as it's been in a long time. I mean, you can even make an argument to some extent there might be 8 teams that can beat all other 8 teams, every single night. It's that sort of competition. Tell us kind of about the OK Red this year, some of what you're expecting to see, and how this team's going to fit into the picture.
Yeah, honestly, this year I've been looking at other teams and just seeing like what other teams got coming back. I honestly think the OK Red is wide open this year, really wide open. I think the biggest thing is you got to win your home games, and some games you got to steal some of those games on the road. But I think anybody, I mean, you have to come ready to play in OK Red every single night. I mean, against anybody, because I think anybody can upset anybody. I mean, we got a couple of new coaches between EK and West Ottawa and stuff like that. But I think, we all kind of have a sense of what teams have and what they got coming back. But the thing about it is you got to come ready to play those nights too, no matter who you're playing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm so excited to see the way that things are gonna shake out. Not very often do you have the ability to see a program like West Ottawa lose a coach like Coach Windemaller, and then also a program like East Kent would bring in a 3-time state champion to be their head coach. So it's going to be really interesting to watch how that all shakes out. And, of course, that's tough, but also the other thing that's super tough is your December schedule. I mean, between showcases, between some of these games you've had scheduled, starting against Wyoming, who is always one of the best coached, toughest teams. Tell me a little bit about the importance and the expectations you have in some of these first games, really learning what this team has against the best of the best from right off the jump this first month.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is my overall goal is I want to turn Grandville High School or Granville, the city of Granville, into a basketball area. And I think for me is just getting our kids in the spotlight of playing those really good teams, those teams that are known. And so for my schedule and the non-conference schedule, I want to play those good teams. So that's why we're opening up against Wyoming. And then the next day we turn around and play Calvin Christian, who's been very good. But they're obviously those two teams are different styles. And then you turn around, we play in a showcase, and you could end up seeing you got West Catholic, then you got Northview, and then in the middle of the season we play Grand Rapids Christian. Yep. So it's for me my goal is just I'm trying to build it here, and I think if we play the good teams, people will want to come see that, and people would want to be a part of this program.
No, I totally agree, and you could see it building through last year. I think the excitement around this team and this program, and I think it's only going to explode this year because I think you guys have got a chance. We talked about how wide open the OK Red is. I'm excited to see this team's role in that going forward. Thanks again, Coach, for your time, and good luck coming up this season.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Grandville head coach Desmond Young here on MGM. Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timber with you. This is the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show on game night on Michigan Sports Radio from VanderSlice Gymnasium, 15:28 on the warm-up clock. I guess you can see that for yourself, can't you, on the bottom of the screen. And CT just obviously coming off the interview with Coach Young. So much to look forward to this season, I think, for this team. First off, for a December game, about as packed as it's been in quite a while, I would actually say, here at VanderSlice Gymnasium. So really good turnout for this first game of the year. But year two for Coach Young, we saw the developments throughout the year. He talked about kind of going through some of those different learning curve type processes that you may go through as a coach in your first year. What are some of the things you're kind of expecting about him in year two, getting this this program put together, and then we'll kind of get into some of the pieces that go into that. But first off, kind of that general view of where things are heading.
Yeah, no, it was encouraging, to hear right away what Coach Young has learned from year one to year two. I mean, definitely a guy that seems like he's picked up on the speed of varsity basketball. I mean, had been around basketball for a long time as a coach, and so anytime you get that change going to the head coach at a varsity level, it's going to take a bit of a learning curve. But I think you saw the development last year starting to happen. I think that's why you see packed building here tonight, and you've got excitement around the program again, is because you expect that to continue. And he's been doing a tremendous job so far, and looking for that to continue.
We've talked about how wide open I think the OK Red has a real chance to be this season. We've mentioned that. It is in part because a lot of teams throughout the Red lost a lot of pieces, of course, or they have coaches gone, new coaches, and different storylines to that effect. This Grandville team, you lose Braden Gable, you lose Trey Johnson in terms of kind of your starter type pieces that they've lost from one year to another, but they bring a lot back, and it all starts, as I started in that interview, with Cam Ragnaris. This is a kid as well that he has grown physically and mentally in the offseason. Coach Young talked about that. I think you've seen a lot of scouts. If you are on Twitter and you're seeing these different, kind of area scouts or whatever that maybe are at some of these, fall ball and AAU games, his name has been jumping off the page as of late, CT. And I think we're going to see Cam Ragnaris hit a new new level. He's got a Grand Valley offer on the table. This is going to be a big junior year for him, and it really is going to start around him. We'll talk about the guards. We'll talk about the rest of it, but Cam Regnier is at the middle of this team, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be interesting to see the development from Cam Regnier there, too. I mean, a guy that, has been around now for a little while, but now as you lose some of those key pieces from last season's team, the focus turns a little bit more towards him and being the key player on this team, being the focal point. Night in and night out, this team is going to rely on him to bring it, and I think he's prepared to do so. He's had the physical height since we saw him out here on the floor, but starting to develop a little bit more, getting stronger behind that body, and then getting more comfortable handling the basketball, possibly a jump shot to go along with it that we saw flash last year as well. So I think you can really see the whole package starting to come together.
The backcourt around him so critical. The team, of course, Grandville went 12-11 last year. They were competitive 5-9 within the conference, and ultimately barely fell in the district final to West Ottawa. The thing that really stood out to me about this team is even nights where they could not score, and I really mean could not score. I think I said on the tailgate report, I used the old term, they couldn't throw a rock in the ocean. There were points last year that this team offensively just, they did not have, they at their peak had individuals that certainly could score, but they definitely went through peaks and valleys where they kind of trusted one guy to do it. The one thing that was very encouraging that Coach Young talked about, this backcourt likely going to be more consistent offensively. You think to Tyson Mann, you think, of course, to Ryder Haight, you think to Quentin Hendrickson, what he meant offensively, and then you have guys like Hungerford, Stockwell on the wing, Colin Highborn, interesting wing we'll talk about as well, the lone sophomore that'll be up and a part of this team. But a backcourt that if they can get a little bit more efficient offensively, that's huge.
Yeah, I think he hit right on the nail on the head there. You looked last year, and it was a lot of individual single performances really carrying a team at one time. And, of course, there was rotation. It wasn't one player all the time. But, it was a lot of times one guy taking over the offense and then trying to carry them the whole way and try to get just a little bit of contributions from the other players on the team. I think that's the first thing you look for is the depth and some consistency now from the guys that were showing and scoring in bursts last season. Now to turn that into a bigger role as they get more minutes and now are in the starting lineup, looking for those guys to be the consistent scoring options and then have a little bit of depth in there rather than just always relying on one player.
Yeah, Scott Bates Agency pregame show continues here on game night on Michigan Sports Radio. CT, I think the next thing that you have to mention most notably in this contest is break me every time still. Every single time that happens, it gets me. The winners still go to the Heartland student section last year at the Breslin Center. Those guys win every time. I was a little concerned there, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't sure what was about to happen. Lost my train of thought. Backcourt, of course, needs to be better offensively. The defense, though, is going to really remain there for this team. I think when you think defensively about what this team was last year, the grinding man-to-man, the way that they kept themselves in games that was so key, they're a little more athletic, maybe a little bit less physically strong this year. They'll be able to do some different things. I don't think there's going to be much of a drop-off defensively. That's, of course, the core of what Coach Young brings to the table.
Yeah, this team's going to bring the defense, and if they're going to have success, it's going to revolve around still being really locked in on the defensive side of the basketball. And I think they kept them in a lot of games last year. I think it's going to do so. Once again, I think you're hoping the offense continues to develop like we just talked about, and then keep the intensity up on the defensive side. You got a lot of plus defenders back from that team last year. Guys at the guard position that can lock down some ball handlers. You still got Cam Regnier in the post that can block some shots. So you still kind of got each of those positions locked down defensively.
We'll talk Wyoming a little bit of a meet your opponent segment here on the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. This is a team for Coach Vanderklay that has a lot of turnover that I think was unexpected turnover. They ultimately wound up losing 3 different players to transfer. That certainly no one saw that coming. That's kind of part of the new reality, even at the high school level as well. But they lost several players off this team to transfers. They have some good young players, including Warren Williams, the 6'1" sophomore that's kind of be leading this team in a lot of regards. Avante Wiggins will come off the bench very likely as a sophomore as well. But it's same as always. They're athletic, they're fast, they're tough. They're going to press you to just insane levels. They're going to pick up the pace of the game. They turn it into a slop fest, but they seem to be under control still doing that. I mean, it's Wyoming. It doesn't matter what talent Coach Vanderklay has and does not have one particular year. They're going to be what they're going to be.
Yeah, that's kind of the beauty of the system that he's created there is they've had some tremendous individual talent come throughout that system throughout the course of the years. And when they have that, they reach another level. But they've always, when they're pressing teams like that and just really forcing havoc on the basketball court, they can force a lot of teams into mistakes, get them uncomfortable, and that's when they succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at this team, like I mentioned, Warren Williams is the sophomore. You don't a lot of times see Coach Vanderklay go with younger players, but he's a real standout. The one thing they are is they are smaller inside. We talk about Regnerus. That's the one thing that's interesting, but I don't think that necessarily bugs them because, again, the system is going to be more press-oriented and so forth. But I do think that is one of the first matchups that we'll talk about is what are they going to try to do in the post?
Yeah, it's gonna have to find some sort of answer because when just looking at the height down the lineup for Wyoming, there's not a player that's going to match up and have anywhere close to a size advantage against Cam Regnerus. Their starting center or forward going to be right around 6'2", right in there, so Regnerus is going to have some height over him. But I think if you can run your defense and really force the guards, make it difficult to get the ball even down into Cam Regnerus, I think is where it starts. If they're forcing some turnovers, going down the court and really denying the basketball down in the painted area for Regnerus, that they're going to try to avoid that area at all costs.
Both teams wrapping up their warm-ups, heading back for one final word with their respective coaches. Last year, just some base stats on these two teams. Grandville averaged 52.9 points per game as a team. They gave up 51.8, so right in that defensive identity, 51-52, pretty much every single game they played. Wyoming, they scored 70.9 as a team. They gave up 64.2. So you're looking at two teams that average about 10 point, or Wyoming averages anywhere 10 to 15 points more per game, really, with the way that they oftentimes play within this system. They're fast, they're mean, they're crazy, is really the best way that you can put it with them. We'll take one more quick break here on this Bates Agency pregame show. When we come back, we'll break down some more of the matchups as well as the keys to the game. About 7 minutes away from the anthem and tip-off just after here from VanderSlice Gymnasium. Can't wait to get this basketball season underway.
Jerry opened the letter. An eviction notice? He and his family couldn't bear to move again. It was warm and they had plenty of space for their acorns. Anxiety took a hold of him. Then suddenly,
you've got squirrels in your engine and they chew through the wiring.
And it was covered, thanks to a farmer's agent. Engine Bay Squatters, May 23rd, 2015. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today at 616-531-3441. Your local farmer's agent who helps you plan for the unexpected.
I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. I've heard it said that professional coaches measure success in rings, college coaches measure success in championships, and high school coaches measure it in titles. But youth coaches measure success in smiles. At Centennial Securities, we're like the youth coach. Our success is measured by the smiles on the faces of our satisfied clients. If you're a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car. And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of Michigan Game Night.
Bates Agency pregame show. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Under 5 minutes from getting this one underway, Grandville and Wyoming tip off our 2022-2023 basketball coverage. Is the MGN Basketball Tip-Off 2022. As I mentioned at the top of the show, tune in tomorrow as well. 2 o'clock, we're back on the air. The first 3 games from the Invite at Calvin. Our Grand Rapids Catholic Central Michigan Sports Radio team will have the 4th game there. But some really good games, and guess who starts it? The Grandville Bulldogs. They take on Calvin Christian to start today. Kennewa Hills and Forest Hills Central, some good top-end talent on those 2 teams. And then the 3rd game of the day is the game of the day, and we have it. It's Northview, it's South Christian. You could argue 2 of the 3 or 4 best teams in the area. Northview certainly probably the consensus best team in the area. I mean, they've also hit the transfer portal. We talked about what Wyoming lost. They added in the offseason. They also had a lot of great talent coming back. as well, and young guys coming up in that program. So they have really, really reloaded there. They've added coaches as well to their coaching staff under Coach Channa, so they have a lot going for them. And of course, South Christian has a team that literally every guy just won a state championship in football, so they're born and bred winners, and they'll be back in it's Rockford Catholic Central in the final game of the day that Eric Wells and company will have in that one. All right, CT. Matchups, we talked about the post battle, who's on Regnerus, what can they do to counter that? We got to it. You're talking pacing, you're talking about the general way they play. So let's take a look at the other things that may be out there. Well, one of the matchups I'm looking at is kind of running gun backcourts. Grandville backcourt, a little bit smaller, wants to shoot, wants to run. You've got athletes like Tyson Mann out there, of course. And then Wyoming takes no introduction that they want to run and gun. So the backcourts want to do similar things. The question is, can Grandville maybe fight that urge and keep things a little bit more in control?
Yeah, I think both teams are comfortable attacking at the guard position. They've got guys that can handle the basketball and move at a pretty good speed. But I think when you're comparing the two, Grandville definitely going to want to be a little bit more controlled. Of course, trying to avoid the turnovers that Wyoming's going to push you into. But they still like to attack in the half court. I think they're going to be able to get to the rim and use their handles there to get to the rim. But I think Wyoming more comfortable and going at more of a crazy speed in terms of getting turnovers and quickly going the fast break the other direction.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's going to be fascinating the way that these two teams both try to attack and the way things go. The coaching battle also so interesting. 38th year for Coach Vanderklay, second year for Coach Young. Both guys looking to kind of rebuild. Again, teams that both lost to West Ottawa in the playoffs last year. They both want to control things in a different way. That's where the fascinating battle comes. Two coaches, vastly different coaching experiences, somewhat different coaching styles as well, and something's got to give in the middle here, as we're also got to learn a lot about these two teams.
Yeah, I think especially early on in the season, you can see coaching adjustments and how big of an impact that can have on a game right away. I mean, we talked about Coach Young and all the development and the learning curve of the first year as a varsity head coach, and then you think about on the Wyoming sideline having 38 years of that development and learning. So I think interesting to see these two teams go head-to-head, especially to open up the season.
Keys to the game here on our Bates Agency pregame show. These are pretty simple. You probably can't quite read my my note sheet here. We're going to do them one at a time. For Wyoming Chandler, keys to the game, I wrote in all uppercase letters, chaos. Explain why that's a key to the game for them.
Yeah, I think the way that they play can take a lot of teams out of it pretty early on when they just they go crazy. They are moving all over the place, stealing the basketball, going quickly the other direction, quickly turning turnovers into points on the fast break, going the other direction, and you can run a team right off the court. We saw it against the Bulldogs a couple seasons ago. If you're uncomfortable from the start, it's going to be tough to kind of figure it out as you go, especially early on in the season. So they're going to do everything they can to make it a messy game.
The good news for Grandville, that team had either younger or didn't have necessarily a traditional point guard. This team has two or three a lot of times that they're willing to have out there handling the basketball. For Grandville, I wrote not chaos. Really just the other side of the coin. They want to go a little bit faster maybe than some teams. They want it, but mostly they want to grind. They need to keep this thing in control.
Yeah, I think sometimes the keys to the game can boil down to something just like that, where the Bulldogs are going to try to do the exact opposite, keep it under control and not fall victim to what Wyoming is trying to push you into, because that's where, as we just talked about, that's what they're going to be feasting on. And so if you're able to get them out of that and stay comfortable and relaxed into your offense and be able to get into that a little bit more, they're going to be in a better spot.
All right, this has been the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. Thanks for tuning in, either through Michigan Sports Radio or through the NFHS Network tonight. National Anthem on deck. We'll be right back after this as we tip off the 2022 basketball season right here on Game Night.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
To everyone who loves great food, Let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
All right, welcome back here. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you, and we're going to try to send it back down now to the PA with our Bates Agency crowd mic and take it down back courtside for our player introductions here as we tip off this season. Or not. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer back with you. So, starting lineups for both teams being introduced at this moment. So for the Bulldogs, of course, this Chandler, there weren't a ton of questions, I think, in terms of this team. We had a pretty good sense of what you can expect, but for the Bulldogs, they will be starting the senior guard Tyson Mann, the senior guard Quentin Hendrickson, the junior wing Logan Stockwell gets the start, along with the junior forward Corbin Heckman, and the junior center Cam Regnaris will be in the middle of everything for the Bulldogs. Warren Williams, a sophomore guard, gets to start for Coach Vanderklay, along with the junior guard Elijah Chandler. Up front, they're going to have the 6'3" junior forward, Gage Baron Baker, starting as they introduce Corbin Heckman, who will get the start at the 4 for the Bulldogs in this contest. Quentin Williams, the senior guard, gets to start for Wyoming, along with the sophomore guard Avante Wiggins. Bulldogs home white uniforms, Grandville across the chest in script maroon, numbers in maroon, trimming down the side in maroon. Traveling black uniforms, numbers in white for Wyoming with purple trimming down the side. Coach Vanderklay, 38th season. Coach Young, 2nd season, get their final words in with their teams right here. Bulldogs move left to right across your radio dial as the Wolves will move right to left to start this contest. Again, thanks to everyone tuned in via both the NFHS network and the Grandville feed there with our commentary, as well as through Michigan Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio, and whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you may be joining us this season. Regnaris and Baron Baker on the jump. Give about 4 or 5 inches to Cam Regnaris on this jump. Going to be fast, going to be wild, and it's going to be fun on a packed gym to start off this basketball season on MGN. Ball's up and away we go. Tip backwards onto a Avante Wiggins, who tries to chase up the left side of the floor, knocked away up that left side for Quentin Williams, and the Wolves will get the first position. Kicked out top for Warren Williams, swung left wing to Elijah Chandler. Chandler will hand it off top of the key to the curling Avante Wiggins. He'll take it right wing, defended by Tyson Mann. Bulldogs, of course, open man-to-man defense. Left wing, Elijah Chandler probes inside, gets Stockwell to pick him up defensively. Starter step back move, left elbow, and he'll kick a pass over to the right elbow that knocks away from Baron Baker. The Bulldogs steal it away with a nice crossover move from Quentin Hendrickson. Feeds it to Heckman, back up top for Hendrickson to run the offense. He'll work it across the floor. Man-to-man pressured open here for Wyoming as well in the half court. Up top for Tyson Mann. Tight defense on him from Quentin Williams. Drives to the lane. Whips the hands free. 2-hand feed off the bottom of the rim. No good. Rebound taken by Warren Williams, and the sophomore sprints up the left side of the floor. Kicks it left corner with an underhand feed to Elijah Chandler. His 3 left corner rattles out. Rebound of the Wolves. Kicked up top for a long triple from Quentin Williams that goes off the top of the backboard into a scrum beneath the basket. Both teams tying up over the ball. We have a whistle, and we have a held ball. Alternating possession goes the Bulldogs' way, and for the first time, the Grandville student section comes to their feet. A frantic start, as you'd expect, CT.
Thanks right from the drum. And the ball bouncing all over the place, guys diving on the floor, but 2 possessions down for the Wyoming offense, 1 slower, trying to work a shot. The defense for the Bulldogs holding up. That time 2 quick threes launched from the Wolves. Both missed, and the Bulldogs getting the jump ball.
They break out the full court press. A pass is tipped away, but corralled by the Bulldogs up top by Hendrickson. Feeds it right side for Corbin Heckman. The junior launches a 3, buries it. Bulldogs on top first. 6:43 in the first. 3-0 Grandville. So Heckman, the lanky 6'4" forward, stepping out, knocking down a triple. Wyoming attacks right side of the lane. Quentin Williams to the basket, and a foul is called on the floor. 6:32 to go first quarter. 3-0 Grandville very, very early, and that is the first team foul on the Bulldogs. They will get Tyson Mann with his first. Left side inbound, Avante Wiggins, the 5'11 sophomore, to throw it in here for the Wolves, a Wyoming team that averaged 70 points per game a year ago. They're as quick as it comes, and it looks like Quentin Williams is finding his way back towards Coach Vanderklay and the bench. I don't know if he maybe got cut and needed to take a quick seat, or if they're just having him wipe it off. Now he's going to actually stay in the ball game. So Quentin Williams will be able to stay into the game right here. So right side, inbound here from the baseline. Wyoming moves left to right across your radio dial. This is far side, standing on the I in Grandville. Avante Wiggins to trigger this one on in. Back at the Wyoming bench, they're investigating the basketball with those players. Now they'll throw it back into play, and now we'll get it away. I'm sure the Bulldogs will take every second rest they can in this game. Avante Wiggins to throw it in. Man jumping in front to defend. Thrown right wing and snagged by Quentin Williams. Quick pass over left side, Elijah Chandler. He'll back it out, defended by Stockwell, who crouches on him in the left wing. Into a long 2 out of a crossover. Rattles out. Rebound down to Cam Ragnaris, who takes that one away and rips it away from Avante Wiggins, who tried to slap the ball out of there. Fed on to Tyson Mann, left side of the floor. Blows over the timeline as Wiggins is on him defensively. Wiggins stays with Mann in the right wing, crossing over and shaking. He'll pick up the dribble. One-hand baseball pass at hard left wing to Heckman, who's able to secure it. Got it on to Mann. Mann feeds one down to the right side baseline for Ragnaris. That one slips away from him out of bounds, and it will be Wyoming basketball once again. 6:02 to go in the first. 3-0 Grandville.
Trying to get a touch for Ragnaris down on the block, but the entry pass over top of his head ended up being pretty close to the basket. Ragnaris couldn't go up and get it with the outstretched arm.
Wiggins directing traffic on the left wing, loosely watched by Mann. Bounces around a screen to the free throw line. Pull-up jumper, rattles out. Rebound is fought for along the baseline. Foul called on Gage Baron-Baker as he went striding in against Cam Ragnaris. Both teams one foul against, and the Bulldogs will take the basketball back over right here. 5:44 to go in the first. 3-0 Grandville. Full court presser coming out for the Wolves. They'll show a full court man look right here. Stockwell inbounds near side, moving left to right to Heckman. Back on to Stockwell in his own paint. Watched defensively by Williams, crossing up the right side of the floor. Hard pass over the timeline to a streaking Heckman. Heckman to the basket. Right-hand shot off the right side of the glass. No good. Rebound down to Williams. He'll sprint it up the floor. Williams curls top of the key, defended by Quentin Hendrickson. The senior guard watching him. He'll launch a long 3 from the volleyball line. Off the connector, no good. Rebound, Cam Ragnaris. I can't imagine Coach Vanderklay likes the shot decisions right now. Ragnaris, an errant pass, nearly stolen away, but a foul is called as Quentin Williams went bowling in against a pair of Bulldog guards. That's 2 fouls now on Wyoming, and the first on the senior Quentin Williams. 5:18 in the first, 3-0 Grandville. It's been very sloppy. It's probably what you'd expect. First game of the year, these teams playing at this pace.
Yeah, exactly. The offense a little bit slow to get out of the gate here today. The defense coming out and aggressive.
Hendrickson, lob pass, left block, Ragnaris. Right-hand shot, strong off the glass, no. Rebound, Avante Williams, thrown over the timeline, tipped out of there by Hendrickson. Recorralled left corner by Quentin Williams. Hendrickson on him, pokes the ball away into the Grandville bench, out of bounds. Grandville basketball. Last touch by the Wolves as it's rolling on out, and the Dogs take over in front of their own bench, near side, moving left to right. 4:58 to go first quarter. Still 3-0 Grandville early in this one. Stockwell inbounds along the baseline to Mann. He'll work it up the near side of the floor with a right-hand dribble. Blows over the timeline. Defended by Elijah Chandler. Chandler reaches. Mann strides by him. Angles into the lane. Right-hand layup. Blocked away. Regathered by Mann. Thrown right corner for Stockwell. Up fake. Let the defender goes by. Strides into the lane. One more attempt down low, and a foul is called. That will be on the floor, and that will bring Zaire DeBose, the sophomore guard, in, as that foul is levied against Warren Williams, the sophomore. Additionally, Chris Jackson will step in here for Wyoming. Right side inbound, man lobs one up to the right elbow, secured by a leaping Quentin Hendrickson. He'll dribble top of the key and pick up that dribble. All over him is Chris Jackson, fresh on the floor. Two-hand overhead feed, left wing for Heckman. Down to the left block for Regnerus. Spinning, working, right-hand shot, strong. Rebound ripped down by Elijah Chandler. He'll run with it over the timeline. Chandler, stutter step, into the lane, Euro step, right-hand shot, cut off the window. Nice move by the 5'11 junior Elijah Chandler to get Wyoming on the board for the first time. 4:20 to go in the first, 3-2 Grandville. Man, nice feed down low. Regnerus, right-hand floater, rolls short, but a foul called through the contact. Fourth team foul already on Wyoming, and Regnerus goes to the line. The Bulldogs have the lead in a frantic start to this one. Foul on Avante Wiggins is his first.
The Wolves finally able to get on the board. They had been locked down in the half court. Chandler able to take it in fast break, though, and get the Wolves some points, then going right back the other way. Tyson Mann able to get a feed for Regnerus in the fast break as well, and an opportunity at the free throw line.
First free throw is good for Regnerus, so he gets his first points of this young season. It's 4-2 Grandville. Ryder Haight will check in for the first time this season for the Bulldogs as Stockwell takes a seat. So a much smaller Bulldog unit out right now with three smaller guards, as well as the two big guys, the 6'7", 6'8" Regnerus, as well as the 6'4" Heckman. Second free throw, Pierre down the hatch. 5-2 Grandville. Near side of the floor, right to left, Avante Wiggins with a carry for the Wolves with the right-hand dribble. Defended by Tyson Mann. Bounces around a screen. Reaching is Heckman. He'll steal it straight away. Heckman reached and took it. He'll go all the way down the floor. Right-hand shot blocked away with some contact. Rebound knocked back down to Heckman. But it looks like he stepped on the end line securing the basketball, and Wyoming takes back over. After a short rest, Quentin Williams will check in for Warren Williams. And the Wolves will take back over right to left here. 4:02 to go in the first, 5-2 early.
Yeah, still some strong minutes from Corbin Heckman early on. Hit the three, then able to pick the pocket there and get a chance one-on-one. Didn't get the layup to go, but still a strong play from him.
Wiggins spins, right block. Shot off the glass, good. And Wyoming back within a point on a nice move by Avante Wiggins. Heckman took it up the floor as he got over the timeline, fed it to his left side on to Hendrickson, who got covered up big time by Quentin Williams, and a foul was called right in front of the timeline. Already 5 team fouls. It's been kind of a ticky-tack game. I mean, you can't even call it that. This very aggressive Wyoming defense all over the Bulldogs early, and that's one more foul. And with that, Quentin Williams will have to take a seat, and Logan Marvin, the senior 5'10" forward, will check in. Inbound it into the backcourt to Quentin Hendrickson. The senior guard starts to dribble up the right side of the floor. He'll stop right wing, feed it on to a cutting Tyson Mann. Mann whips the hands free, reverse layup, good off the glass. 7-4 Bulldogs. Nice move by Tyson Mann. 3.5 to go first quarter, Bulldogs by 3. Avante Wiggins down the right side of the lane, spins right elbow. Nearly had it knocked away, skip past left wing Chris Jackson, and Jackson loses the handle of the basketball, and it's going to be Grandville taking back over as he took a little shuffle with the ball right there. Bulldog basketball, 3:22 in the first, and Wyoming has been forced back into more of a half-court defensive look right now in a 7-4 game. Hendrickson, two-hand feed, left wing for Heckman. Two-hand, tough feed, down low. Regnerus lets the defense slide by, elevates, jams with two hands. The first dunk of the year for Cam Regnerus. 9-4 Grandville, 3:05 in the first. Elijah Chandler backing out with the basketball for the Wolves. Stutter step to the free throw line, spins in the lane. Correction, right-hand shot, good. Tough shot from 8 feet, able to go on down for Elijah Chandler. 9-6 with 2:52 in the first.
Elijah Chandler with 4 of the 6 for the Wolves, and it's been on a couple tough takes to the basket.
Regnerus, left corner, all alone, catch and shoot 3. Hendrickson too strong, and the rebound is out of bounds. It was batted out by Heckman, and the Wolves will take back on over. Another quick substitution. This is what obviously Coach Vanderklay does and has to do with the speed of his team. Warren Williams comes in for Chris Jackson. Drew Hungerford will check in for the first time this season as Heckman takes a seat. So the Bulldogs very small right now, essentially 3 guys at 6'1" or less, or 4 guys at 6'1" or less, and then of course Regnerus in the middle of things. Wiggins, the sophomore, feeds with 2 hands, right wing for Elijah Chandler. Chandler defended by Ryder Haight in the wing. Feeds top of the key to a spinning Logan Marvin. Marvin hands off left wing for Zaire DeBose. DeBose takes to the basket. Right-hand shot blocked away. Cam Regnerus. Rebound to Haight. He'll weave his way through the defense. Baseball pass right corner on for Tyson Mann. Mann lobs it with one hand back across the floor. Hendrickson all alone. Deep 3. Strong off the back iron. No good. And the leaping rebound secured by the 6'1" sophomore Williams. He'll sprint up the right side of the floor with the basketball. 2 minutes to go first quarter. 9-6. Handoff. Top of the key. Elijah Chandler. Chandler down the right side of the lane with a spin move. Fader from 10 feet. Too strong. Rebound down Cam Regnerus. Hendrickson the ball with speed up the left side of the floor. He'll stop top of the key with it. Hands off for Regnerus. Got it back on the give and go. Left wing, Hendrickson lobs it down to the high-low pass to Regnerus. Spins his way free, forces up with two hands, blocked away, no foul. He wants one, but it is out on the Wolves, and it will stay Grandville basketball. 1:39 in the first quarter, 9-6 early the Grandville lead. Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame celebrates the city's rich sports history by honoring prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports in the local, state, or national level. The GRSHOF also prevents annual events in support of West Michigan athletics and to raise funds for youth organizations and charities. Left corner, inbound to Tyson Mann, 3 on the way, rattles out, and Wyoming takes the basketball back up. Check out the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame on Facebook and check out all the pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at GRSHOF.com. Avante Wiggins drives in the lane. He is fouled at the right block. On the drive, we'll see who they get right here on the Bulldog foul. That's on Tyson Mann. So both Bulldog fouls have been on the Bulldogs senior guard. He will take a seat as Corbin Heckman comes back in here for the Bulldogs. So a bit more size for Coach Young and the Dogs. 1:25 in the first quarter, 9-6. Right side inbound coming up for the Wolves. Buster Cross in the game for the first time, lobs it in right corner to Marvin. Marvin drives into the lane, takes it hard to the rack, and a foul is called. And that will send Marvin to the line to shoot 2. That blocking call, that foul on Drew Hungerford, his first, now the team's third, so a couple quick fouls in succession on the Bulldogs. 5 fouls right now on Wyoming. Right-hand free throw, rattles home for Marvin. The senior wears number 20 in black and knocks down that free throw. 9-7 game with 1:22 in the first. Finally, just a little bit of a chance to catch your breath. This has been wild to start the year. I was not ready for this. I can tell you that much as a play-by-play man. Second free throw good for Marvin. Knocked them both down. It's a 1-point game, 9-8. After the free throw, Marvin will take a seat, and that will bring Elijah Chandler back onto the floor. Inbounded near side for the Bulldogs against the press here to Hungerford. He'll swing it with two hands to Ryder Haight. Stopped it from the backcourt. Back on to Heckman, nearly stolen away. He'll nicely angle it right side to Hungerford, who sprints over the timeline. Overhead pass, left corner, Ryder Haight. Triple try off the back iron, no good. Rebound to Hungerford. Whipped around, extra pass, Heckman. Back on left side, all alone. Haight, high arcing 3, down and good. 12-8 Grandville, final minute of the first quarter.
He got a couple looks at it. First one didn't drop, but comes right back to it. The confidence to put it up again.
Avante Wiggins under an up move. Short, misses everything on the floater down and beneath the basket. Rebound to Hendrickson. He'll work with pace. Kick to right corner for Haight. Haight back on Hendrickson all the way across the floor. Left corner, Heckman. Catch and shoot 3. Misses everything strong. Rebound on the Haight. Swatted away by Elijah Chandler beneath the basket, but the Bulldogs keep the ball up top with Hendrickson. Coach Young wants to clear things out. Final 32 seconds first quarter. 12-8 Grandville. Left corner Heckman. Down low for Cam Regnerus. Turns, draws 2 defenders. Shot blocked away. Grabs the rebound. Right hand shot. Good, and a foul. 14-8 Grandville, the muscle from Cam Regnerus on that one. And the Dogs go up a little more. That foul on Buster Cross, the first on the 5'10 junior. They're trying to double. They're trying to triple the post when he's down there, but they have had no luck doing so against the size of Cam Regnerus early.
Yeah, the second Regnerus touches the ball, there's extra bodies flooding the way in the middle of the lane, but Regnerus still able to go up and over 3 bodies.
Free throw good, 3-point play good. Nothing but net for Cam Regnerus, 23.9 on the clock. He will take a seat and get a bit of an extended break through this quarter break as Stockwell comes on in his place. Right to left, Avante Wiggins, the sophomore guard, will run the offense for Wyoming. Met by that half-court man-to-man Bulldog pressure. 15-8 Bulldogs, final 15 seconds. They're going to take their time and wait for the final shot. Crossover from Wiggins, right wing, trying to clear out the defense. Hand off on the curl top of the key, Warren Williams. Lost the handle, bodies crashing down to the floor. Secured out of the mess by Elijah Chandler. Swung right wing for Wiggins, back up top for Chandler. He'll launch a long 3 at the buzzer from the volleyball line. Harshly does a 360, will not fall. And that's the end of one. The Bulldogs able to take the advantage in a high-flying, all-over-the-place first quarter. 15-8 Dogs after one. We'll be right back.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University. Build a life that matters.
a sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make your community a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
Welcome back, Nate Dreyer. Chandler Timmer with you here from VanderSlice Gymnasium. We mentioned the pregame show. Keys to the game revolved around chaos or lack thereof. There has been chaos. It has been wild, but it is 15-8 Grandville, a very good start to the season for the Bulldogs, CT.
Yeah, it has been a little bit wild, but the Bulldogs have done a pretty good job navigating it. Able to avoid most of the full court pressure from the Wolves, in part due to their own suffocating defense, more of the man-to-man style, but really not allowing the Wolves to get into their pressure like they would like to.
Top of the key, Elijah Chandler, defended by Quentin Hendrickson. Hendrickson leaning into him, top of the key. Chandler backs it out, starts again. Crossover, free throw line, spin move, hand out, top of the key, jump around the way. Baron Baker misses everything strong to the right side, no good on the triple try. Rebound to Heckman, taken up left to right here by Quentin Hendrickson. Hendrickson down the right side of the floor for the Bulldogs. Hands off for Ryder Haight. Heckman out there. Regnerus out there. Stockwell out there. Stockwell's got it. Left corner. Catch and shoot three. Over top of Wiggins. Strong. The Bulldogs struggling to shoot right now, even with this lead. Near side of the floor, right to left. Warren Williams races with it all the way to the baseline. Knocked out of bounds off of Hendrickson. He and the Grandville student section don't love the call. It'll stay with the Wolves maybe. There's now a meeting of officials to discuss what way this basketball is going.
Looked like Hendrickson was there trying to cut off the driving lane, but they're saying he reached in and was able to knock the ball out of bounds, and that's what caused it. Hendrickson did not think so.
It will stay with the Wolves here. Baseline inbound left. Devontae Wiggins, the 5'10 sophomore. Two-hand feed into the left corner for Elijah Chandler. He may have traveled as he started the dribble up right there, but he'll keep possession in the left wing with it. Bulldogs switch defensively. Stockwell onto him, top of the key. Chandler walks into a long three. Strong off the connector, no good. Rebound down to Heckman. He's been really tenacious on the boards early. He'll give it on to Hendrickson to run the offense up the left side of the floor. Defense pulling out. None of that full court pressure off the misses. Right side. Stockwell up fake, works baseline, extra feed, left wing, catch and shoot three. Hendrickson rattles out harshly, and the rebound down to the sprinting Maxi Morales, who's touching the ball for the first time today. Two-hand feed, right corner for Avante Wiggins. Defended by Hendrickson, number two on number two right wing. Wiggins steps into a three over top of Hendrickson. That one's strong, rebound, ripped down by Haight. He is then landed on top of by Morales and fouled, and the Bulldogs will keep the basketball. And that is already going to be team foul number 7 on Wyoming. 6:44 in the second quarter, so already into the bonus, as that's the first foul on Morales, and that will send Ryder Haight to the line here for the Bulldogs. We will see the sophomore, Colin Hybor, come onto the floor for the first time in this game, also as Heckman will take a seat. So Ryder Haight to the line for the Bulldogs. First foul on Morales, and Bulldogs already into the bonus with 6:44 in the second.
It's got to be considered a win for the Bulldogs, the way that the game's being called, to get the Wolves already in some foul trouble here, where they're going to be shooting free throws for the last almost 7 minutes of the first half.
Free throw strong, fight for the rebound, and over and back call against Cam Regnerus. How did I pull that off? It's been a couple. Well, Landon's coaching with the JV team now, but foul on Cam Regnerus, and he'll go back the other way here. His first, team's fourth. 6:37 second quarter, 15-8 Bulldogs. Crossover Wiggins, right wing, trying to work his way inside on Haight, who's all over him. He's forced back out behind the arc, and left hand feeds it into the deep right wing to Elijah Chandler. Chandler drives to the basket. Travel calls. He shuffled the feet before a right hand layup attempt. Bulldog basketball. Quentin Williams checks back on the floor as Morales takes a seat for Coach Vanderklay. 6:27 second quarter. Full court pressure going to get set up by the Wolves right here. They'll run a 1-2-1-1 type variety that kind of morphs into some man pressure. Inbound feed knocked straight back out of bounds along the baseline by Wiggins. Stockwell to throw it in one more time. Full court pressure coming back on for the Wolves again on the inbound. Stockwell pounds the rock looking for the inbound lane. Good coverage so far. He'll inbound to Cam Regnerus. Back on here to Stockwell. Stockwell, right side of the floor, able to blow by Elijah Chandler. Gave him the shoulder as well. Coming up the floor, offensive foul is called eventually. Those two are on each other all the way up the floor. A little bit of an extension of that left arm by Stockwell. Foul called on him. That's the team's 5th foul as Stockwell picks that one up. 6:20 to go in the second quarter. 15-8 Grandville. That will send Stockwell to the bench off his first foul and bring Heckman back out there.
Stockwell and Elijah Chandler have been going back and forth for a couple possessions, having some contact going both ways. Chandler got right into the face of Stockwell as he was trying to drive up the court and then extended that elbow just enough for the offensive charge call.
Quentin Williams behind the back dribble, lost it in the lane, but it dribbles out left wing to Elijah Chandler. Bounces around a hard screen from Baron Baker. Picks up the dribble right elbow. Feeds it with two hands to the left wing for Quentin Williams. Haight all over him. Williams drives by. Step back. Long two along the left baseline. Misses everything strong. Rebound ripped down by Heckman again. And it's on for Quentin Hendrickson. Back on to Heckman over the timeline. Left corner, catch and shoot three. Colin Highmore, the sophomore, misses everything strong, but the rebound bounces off the head and chest of fellow sophomore Warren Williams, out of bounds, and the Bulldogs underneath the offensive hoop right side will get to inbound this one with Quentin Hendrickson. 5:46 to go, second quarter. 15-8, inbound to right corner, Regnerus will swing it right wing for Haight. Back right corner, Hendrickson. Quick touch pass down low to Regnerus. Jump stop, fed it out right wing for Hendrickson. Back down low, Regnerus spins, right hand floater strong. Rebound on the floor, diving bodies, right corner. Heckman ties up along with Williams. And it will be Wyoming basketball as that one goes bouncing into the Wyoming bench. Last touch by the Bulldog big man. 5:29 second quarter, 15-8 Bulldogs. Scoring is ground to a halt in this one, but again, Coach Young's defense is back, CT, for another year.
Yeah, it definitely is. Right now, the Wolves' offense being very frustrated.
Right wing stutter step of Avante Wiggins sent Ryder Haight down to the floor. Bulldogs faithful wanted an offensive foul. They won't get it. Instead, that's foul number 1 on Haight. 6 on the Bulldogs, so both teams shooting free throws the rest of the way in the half here. Avante Wiggins thrown into him in the backcourt. He'll dribble up with the left hand to the left wing. Defended by Haight. Blows by Haight to the lane. Right hand floater blocked away hard by Regnerus. On for Highmore. The sophomore. Dump pass. Left block. Underhand feed. Left wing. Catch and shoot three. Heckman. Good. High arcing triple. Pure. 18-8. Bulldogs by 10. 5:04 in the second.
Second triple of the day for Heckman. Coming out and knocking down some shots. But how about the block by Regnerus? Almost looked like a volleyball block with two hands.
Nearly got another one right there as Williams turns in the lane with a fader from 8 feet. Able to shoot it high over top of Regnerus, but the shot misses everything, goes out of bounds. Was tipped out of bounds last by the Bulldogs and along the left baseline. Avante Wiggins to trigger this one on in. Nate Summers, the senior guard, comes in for the first time as Ryder Haight takes a seat for the Bulldogs. As the Bulldogs have now gone 9 deep into their rotation in this one. Lobbed up top for Baron Baker, the 6'3 junior. Steps inside the arc, launches a long one from beyond the free throw line. Strong. Rebound in the lane down to Warren Williams. In rhythm, left-hand shot through a pair of defenders. Rattles home good. And Wyoming finally back on the board again. 18-10, final 4:40. Bulldogs break the pressure over the timeline to Summers. Drives to the basket, up fake, feeds on nicely Regnerus. Skies looking for the dunk, rolls off the rim, no good. Rebound down to Quentin Williams. He'll race up the left side of the floor. Williams, stutter step, drives, floater, tough in the lane, misses short, rebound Cam Regnerus. On to Heckman, Heckman to Hendrickson, and Hendrickson will walk it up with the right-hand dribble and beat the pressure over the timeline. Final 4:17 in the second quarter, Bulldogs by 8, on to Summers along the right baseline, feeds out right wing Hendrickson, swung up top and around, Highmore left wing, down to the left block for Regnerus. Nice move. Floater spins out. Foul called on Baron Baker. That will send Cam Regnerus back to the line to shoot a couple. 4:08 second quarter. 8th team foul on Wyoming. Second foul on Gage Baron Baker, the junior. We have still not seen Tyson Mann with those 2 fouls since back early in the first quarter of this one. First free throw, Regnerus rattles home. He's 3 for 3 at the line. He wears number 12 in white short sleeves underneath the white uniform. Hendrickson takes a seat as Hungerford comes on in his place. Baron Baker also will go back to the Wolves bench off of that foul as Zaire DeBose, the sophomore guard, will check back in for Coach Vanderklay. Second free throw, the feet offset by Regnerus. His short rebound to Highmore, and he'll put it back up and score with the right hand down low. A little touch back in, and the sophomore able to knock down his first varsity points. 21-10 Grandville, under 4 to go in the second quarter.
We're able to get into the middle of the lane and get the bounce, go right back up quickly, get that bucket in.
Williams, handoff, top of the key, Elijah Chandler to the right wing. Defended tightly by Summers. He'll back it out behind the arc. Between the leg dribbles, crossing over Chandler. On the right wing, still the basketball. Hand off to a jump-stopping Quentin Williams. To Avante Wiggins. Wiggins now over to Williams' left wing. He'll try a deep 3 over top of Highmore. Spins out. Rebound down to Hungerford. And he'll try to split the pressure, and now will race by the pressure up the middle of the floor. Two-hand feed, left corner, jumped away and stolen away by Elijah Chandler. Chandler on to Wiggins. Baseball pass, the length of the floor, out of the reach of the leaping Zaire DeBose. Out of bounds, Grandville basketball. 3:19 second quarter, 21-10 Bulldogs.
See both teams turning the basketball over there, trying to get some passes down the court. Hungerford looking to get the ball quickly into the corner, but the Wolves defense able to anticipate that, and then a baseball pass out in front, way past the offensive player there, and leads the basketball going back for the Bulldogs.
Pressure will pull off and more of a token look as Hungerford tries to take up the right side of the floor, then run into by Quentin Williams, lost the handle, throws a wild pass to the half-court line, looking for Hybor. He's tied up there by Avante Wiggins. Alternating possession will go Grandville's way. 3:09 second quarter, 21-10. Grandville Bulldogs just in the backcourt. Far side of the court, moving left to right across the radio dial. We'll inbound here with Heckman. Heckman, Regneris out there. Hybor out there. This is the tallest Bulldogs unit. Also Hungerford out there. And Summers. This really is as tall as the Bulldogs pretty much can go with their look. Hungerford blows over the timeline, defended by the senior guard, Donovan Edwards. Right wing crosses back to the left elbow. Lost the handle, regathers, two-hand feed, left corner. Knocked out of bounds, last touched by the Wolves, or actually they get a foul. It was just out of bounds. It will be Heckman inbounding left side of the floor here in the front court. 2:58 second quarter, 21-10 Bulldogs. Heckman to throw it in, got it to Hungerford in front of the timeline. Defended again by Donovan Edwards. Up the middle of the floor to the basket, two-hand shot, blocked away down low. No foul called, through a lot of contact. Rebound sprinted ahead by Williams. Williams gave it on to the driving Elijah Chandler. Right-hand layup, good. Easy 2 points in transition for Wyoming, 21-12. Hungerford all on his own with a bit of a shoulder, able to beat the pressure over the timeline, gave it on to a sprinting Summers. Summers drives to the basket, right-hand layup, good off the window. 23-12 with 2.5 in the second. Pace upping even more right now. Williams down the right side of the lane. A foul was called on a grab on the floor. I think they're going to get Hungerford for this one, and that's the team's 7th, and will be a 1-and-1 coming up for the Wolves right here. 2:27 second quarter, 23-12 ball game. Hungerford does get the foul, and he will take a seat as Hendrickson is back out there.
Anytime the pace is turned up a little bit and the Wolves have got a fast break basket, the Bulldogs have gone quickly back the other direction and usually caught the Wolves slow to get back and kind of beating them with their own medicine there. Able to get a quick basket to Summers.
Quentin Williams, the senior, great slasher, great scorer, knocks down the first free throw. 23-13. Again, Wyoming averaged 70 points per game a year ago, CT. They have 13 right now with 2.5 to go in the second quarter. The Bulldogs lead at 23-13 in a wild one. One more free throw at the line, and that one is strong off the connector. No good for Williams. Second effort rebound secured by Heckman and given on to Hendrickson up the right side of the floor. Hendrickson, two-hand feed down low, looking for Regneris. Bounces away from Regneris, stolen away by Quentin Williams, who run up the floor. He'll step into a deep three. Late pressure on him from Hendrickson, forces the shot short. Bodies collapse together at the top of the key. Ball came onto the Wolves. Right wing on to Donovan Edwards. The senior launches a deep three and buries it. Quick little run for Wyoming brings them within 23-16, under 2 to go. Trapping pressure on in the half court. Two-hand feed from Heckman, left corner to Summers. Back up top for Heckman. Swung right wing Hendrickson, and back around, extra pass left corner for Summers. Ball fake up top. Heckman, right wing Hendrickson, all alone. Triple try. Too strong, rattled out. Rebound down to a leaping Avante Wiggins. So two-hand baseball over the timeline on Edwards. Edwards skips it up top in front of the timeline to Elijah Chandler. Final minute and a half of the first half. Chandler to the basket, trying to reach around Hybor on the shot. Can't get it to go in the lane. Rebound down to Hendrickson. He'll run the length of the floor. Right-hand runner, rolls out. Rebound out of bounds. Last touched by the Wolves along the baseline. And Grandville will take it. Ryder Haight will check in here for the Bulldogs as Hybor will take a seat. A lot of good looks for Hendrickson right now. Just nothing falling as of yet for the senior guard.
Yeah, he's been close on a couple threes that were harshly rattled out, and then there on a strong take to the basket right through the middle of the lane. Got an unfriendly bounce, but he's been right there being aggressive, getting some shots up.
Haight lobs it up, right elbow to Hendrickson. Hendrickson, nice feed, reaching around a defender. Got Regneris, right-hand shot strong, grabs his own rebound, went up with two hands looking for the foul. Can't get it, and the Wolves take a strict basketball back the other way with Warren Williams into the right corner. He'll curl out with it top of the key. Underhand feed onto Avante Wiggins. Wiggins will clear out the defense and dribble with the left hand, calling out a play. Screen set left wing, steps into a triple, blocked away Regneris, and bodies crash together. A foul called as Zaire DeBose runs in to Heckman in the air, and that will be a 1-and-1 for the Bulldogs right here. First foul on DeBose, 9th on the team, 59.5 on the clock in the second quarter, 23-16.
Can be deceiving. Regneris sitting back, not outside guarding the perimeter, but you think you got some space to get a shot up from beyond the arc, and then Regnerus quickly there with that length able to get up and get a piece of that shot.
Tell you what, I got to do 3 games tomorrow, play-by-play after this. That's going to be difficult. This is as fast of a game as you're going to find. Heckman launches the free throw. Good. Pure high arcing shot. One more for Heckman. 24-16 Bulldog lead. Just under a minute to go in the second quarter. Second free throw from the righty. Rattles out. Leaping rebound on to Edwards. He'll give it with an underhand feed up the left side of the floor to Avante Wiggins. Wiggins, step back in the wing, spins to the free throw line. Long step back, too good. What a shot. Avante Wiggins steps back over top of Summers and knocks it down, 24-18. Final 45 seconds of the second. Let's see how much the Bulldogs maybe try to slow it down here. Heckman over the timeline, picks up the dribble. Two-hand feed right side Summers to the free throw line for Hendrickson. Knocked away from a whole bunch of pressure. Edwards the steal, up the floor. Edwards, two-hand feed, left side Wiggins. Thought about the three, kicks it left corner. Wide open Chandler. Three on the way, rolls home good. And suddenly it's 24-21 and a one-possession game, and Coach Young wants a timeout. 20.7 on the clock, second quarter. Make sure you stay with us, by the way, as we go into our Centennial Securities halftime show coming up after this. We'll stay with you through this timeout, but that's what Wyoming does. Quick runs. You can be dominating a basketball game, and they so quickly can be right back in it with their pace and their skill. That's what they do right here.
Yeah, the Bulldogs really felt like they were in control of this game for the first quarter, plus a couple minutes into the second, starting to run away with it. But then the Wolves stay persistent. They continue to come at you, able to finally knock down some tough shots. They've still been contested looks in the mid-range and also from beyond the arc, but they've started to hit them. And you can see the Bulldogs' defense just a step slow. Maybe getting a little bit tired as the first game of the season as you're getting close to the halfway point here, but the Wolves have started to make them pay.
All right, Bulldogs in the backcourt, moving left to right across your radio dial, inbound far side. Nate Summers to throw it in. Hendrickson and Haight out there also in the backcourt. Up front of the big guys, Cam Regnerus and Corbin Heckman. Wiggins, Edwards, Chandler out there along with DeBose and Warren Williams. Quentin and Warren Williams both out there for Coach Vanderklay. Into the backcourt, Quentin Hendrickson up the right side of the floor, feeds over the timeline to Ryder Haight. Haight in a double team, jump pass left side for Summers. Nice feed down to the left block for Regnerus. Tough jump pass, block to block, looking for Heckman. Knocked out of bounds, last touch by the Wolves, and Elijah Chandler will stay with Grandville down low. 8.7 on the second quarter clock, 24-21 Bulldogs. Summers to trigger it in right side of the baseline here. Lobbed up right wing Hendrickson. Hendrickson, final 5 seconds, will back it out. Defended here by Wiggins. Crossover to the top of the key. Jump pass looking for Regnerus. Bounces off the face of Regnerus. Bodies go crashing all over the place for the basketball. And that is a fitting way for the wild first half to come to a close in this one. 24-21 Grandville leads at the half, and we welcome you in now to our Centennial Securities halftime show. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer here with you. Whoa, CT. That was as wild as you maybe would expect it to be, and the wilder it got, Wyoming was more comfortable as you'd expect, and that's why they're able to close it at the very end of the half.
Yeah, late little flurry there from the Wolves. Able to get some turnovers on defense, get some quick buckets, and then starting to knock down some tough shots, get them right back into the game after the Bulldogs had a double-digit lead there for quite a while.
So both coaching staffs right now out there going over things as their teams have beaten them back to the locker room, trying to figure out some adjustments for the second half. I mean, the wildness of the game, I think, is going to continue. So you're probably looking at whose conditioning program maybe was better in the offseason might be a big determining factor in this first game of the year.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think you can see the Bulldogs, they've been playing with some great intensity early on, both on offense and defense. But, of course, that's going to be wearing on a team, especially early on in the season when you're still getting into that full conditioning of what a complete basketball game is. So trying to recover here a little bit at halftime and be rested for the second half.
All right, a lot more to break down still here on our Centennial Securities halftime show, so do not go anywhere. We'll be right back here from VanderSlice Gymnasium. We'll have some stats. We'll have a lot more to talk about in this one. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Jerry opened the letter. An eviction notice? He and his family couldn't bear to move again. It was warm and they had plenty of space for their acorns. Anxiety took a hold of him. Then suddenly,
you've got squirrels in your engine and they chew through the wiring.
And it was covered, thanks to a farmer's agent. Engine Bay Squatters, May 23rd, 2015. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today at 616-531-3441. Your local farmer's agent who helps you plan for the unexpected.
I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. I've heard it said that professional coaches measure success in rings, college coaches measure success in championships, and high school coaches measure it in titles. But youth coaches measure success in smiles. At Centennial Securities, we're like the youth coach. Our success is measured by the smiles on the faces of our satisfied clients. If you're a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Michigan Sports Academies offers quality youth sports in Grand Rapids, Holland, and Muskegon. With a wide variety of programming, MSA has something for new athletes who are just starting out to experienced athletes looking to take their game to the next level. Year-round programming is offered in basketball, lacrosse, soccer, and volleyball. Your athlete will love the quality of instruction from experienced coaches in state-of-the-art facilities conveniently located in Grand Rapids and along the lakeshore. Check us out at MichiganSportsAcademies.com.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Can you identify your number one personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Welcome back, Nate Dreyer, Chandler Tim with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. This is our Centennial Securities halftime show. Again, thanks to everyone tuning in through the NFHS network or on MichiganSportsRadio.com, the MGN YouTube, the MGN Twitter, the MGN Facebook. I think all those streams are hopefully still up and working at this point in the night. 24-21, Grandville leads Wyoming at the half of a wild one. Chandler, take us through some of our all of our scoring from this first half.
All right, yeah. Start off on the Wyoming side, leading all scorers. Chandler with 9 points, 4 for Wiggins, 3 for Edwards, 2 for both Warren Williams and Logan Marvin, and 1 point for Quentin Williams. For the Bulldogs, leading the way, Cam Regneris, 8 points, 7 for Corbin Heckman, 3 for Ryder Haight, and then 2 apiece for Tyson Mann, Nate Summers, and Colin Hyborg.
Corbin Heckman, really impressive. You have to like the way he has started this season for the Bulldogs. You kind of wonder what sort of role could he play at the 4. Well, he's knocking down shots. He had a steal at the perimeter, as well. I think if you're Coach Young, you really like what you saw of him. Now, you need your backcourt to be more. This sounds like a broken record from last year. Talking about the pregame, so you need more consistency out of your backcourt offensively. But if you're getting that out of Heckman along with Regneris, who's drawing all of the attention to the post, and you're giving wide open looks, they just haven't hit them yet. Like, the offense is looking better than I think the scoring numbers are saying.
Yeah, I think so. They've had some open looks, just haven't got them to fall. I mean, part of that's just getting into a rhythm early on in the season, but I think, yeah, your big guys are playing well, holding their ground defensively, getting some looks and some touches in the painted area, and you've had some open looks from the mid-range and also from beyond the arc as well. Just haven't got them to fall, but I think part of that, your experienced returning guard, Tyson Mann, had some foul trouble there, so kind of counting on some more guys there to step up because he wasn't playing much in the second quarter.
Here's what we're learning, though, about this team is Coach Young, he kind of mentioned in that Coach's Corner interview as well, he has a lot of different ways he can go the team. You have the smaller guards, guys like Mann, guys like Hendrickson, like Ryder Haight. You have a little bit bigger guards, guys like Hungerford, guys like Stockwell, who's more of a wing. Colin Hybor, a big wing for a sophomore. You've got the big guys inside, the Regneris and Heckman. there's a lot of different lineups he's been able to use based on who they're going to see. Now, today he has to keep it smaller. He has to be able to run to stay with Wyoming. But we have started to see a lot of different looks and unique looks that this team is going to certainly have an ability to bring to the table throughout this season.
Yeah, I do think they've got quite a bit of options when it comes to the rotation that they can have with multiple guys that can play different positions and have some size to be able to move around the court a little bit. Allows a lot of mix and match ability for Coach Young. Depending on the flow of the game, he can kind of go big or small and get some different attacking and scoring in there as he sees fit.
Cam Regnier is just 8 points. I think he's had a bigger impact on the game. Of course, the defense and the shot blocking has been there, but again, this is a team that is, as we know, in both the half and full court, very aggressive defensively. The Bulldogs have had a ton of wide open looks because he's being double or triple teamed in the post pretty much every time he touches the basketball.
Yeah, lots of attention being paid to Regnieris, and rightfully so. We wondered how they were going to try to match up against him, and they've done so by just sending as many defenders as they possibly can. And for the most part, it's actually worked a little bit, trying to play physical down there, force officials to call something, and they have quite a few foul calls in the first half, but there was some contact being allowed underneath the basket. I think you could see Cam get a little frustrated a couple different times. Once on the dunk attempt there where he's looking, and it looks like there's potentially some contact there, but just it's been pretty consistently not being called. So that's working out for Wyoming in their ability to try to defend the post area when they've got this size disadvantage, but they can try to just really frustrate him in the painted area.
Both teams warming up for the second half right now. We'll take one more quick break on our Centennial Securities halftime show. And then it's going to be time for the second half basketball. Right after that, 24-21 Bulldogs at the half. We will be right back.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car. And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Need to replace that worn-out carpet or floor? Floor Coverings International makes it easy. They bring their mobile showroom to you. Save yourself the trip and gas shopping around. See a wide selection of carpet, hardwood, laminate, and vinyl in the lighting of your own home. Go to floorcoveringsinternational.com today for your free consultation. Work with one team for a hassle-free experience from the quote to installation. And each Floor Coverings International business is independently owned and operated, so they are local business owners in our community. Floor Coverings International, the flooring store at your door.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage.
Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer back with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio and Michigan Game Night. All right, second half underway, or just about underway, I should say. Grandville and Wyoming. In this one, CT, all right, it was hectic, it was crazy in the first. We'll see what we got coming up in the second half. Wyoming will get the ball to start the second half of play. They're in their traveling black uniforms. Wyoming is with numbers in white, purple trimming down the side. The Bulldogs, the home whites, with numbers trimming and lettering all in maroon. Up the right side of the floor, Avante Wiggins with a handoff right wing for Warren Williams. Gets this game underway. Williams spins, free throw line knocked away. Down on the floor by Stockwell. Bodies crashing, racing over the ball. Held ball was called. Alternating possession goes to Grandville as Tyson Mann was down there to get tied up along with Warren Williams, and that will be Grandville basketball. 7:49 in the third quarter. 24-21, and the full court press comes on here for the Wolves. Inbounded through the hands of Stockwell. Stolen away by Warren Williams. Tries to feed left corner for Quentin Williams. It evades his hands out of bounds, and Grandville will take the basketball back over here with Stockwell. 7:46 in the third.
Doesn't look like things got settled down too much at the halftime break. There are about 3 turnovers in a matter of 15 seconds.
Wolves sticking with full court man pressure on to Stockwell in the backcourt. He'll blow over the timeline with the right-hand dribble. Stockwell splits a pair of defenders, lost the handle, stolen away with a nice hand from the streaking Elijah Chandler. Chandler takes it into the lane, floater, spins home. Wyoming within one, 24-23. The pressure stays on. Stockwell inbounds it to man, got it back. Stockwell, defended by Warren Williams, swings it left side to Hendrickson. He'll cut across the floor and blow over the timeline to the behind-the-back dribble, defended by Avante Wiggins. High feed, left wing, Cam Regnaris, and Regnaris is grabbed and fouled by Baron Baker. I believe that is 3 on Baron Baker in the first of the half on Wyoming. That brings Ryder Haight onto the floor for the Bulldogs as Stockwell takes a seat. That is 3 on Baron Baker.
An adjustment from Coach Young. Had been planning Regnaris down in the post early on in the game, trying to get him a touch down there. Right away, they get him outside the arc on the perimeter, get him to try and attack with the basketball.
Regnaris down low, power dribble, spin move, right-hand shot, short, offensive foul called. Williams draws it there. The Grandville crowd and Coach Young do not like that call, but it will go Wyoming's way. 7:07 in the third quarter, 24-23 Grandville. That's 2 on Regnaris and 1 on either team.
I think a borderline call there, but I think Williams done a nice job able to get to that spot, kind of recognized the move that was coming and the spin from Regnaris to set the feet.
Chandler, step back, mid-range jumper, strong rebound, nicely secured on the second effort by Cam Regnaris. Pressure is on, he'll take it up himself and hand off for a sprinting Quentin Hendrickson over the timeline. Hendrickson, jump pass, left corner, all alone, catch and shoot 3 Ryder. Hey, good. Right down the hatch, 27-23, 6:43 in less than the third. Chandler down the right side of the lane. Pull-up shot over top of Regnaris. Tipped away. Rebound right block on Zaire DeBose. He'll feed out top of the key for Williams. Hesitates. Into the lane. Pass left corner. Tipped away, but somehow in a high feed is secured by Warren Williams, who will slow it down and underhand feed it right wing for Elijah Chandler. High feed to the right side for Williams. He'll step into this man-to-man defense. Launches a triple over top of Hendrickson. Too strong. Rebound to Haight. That one's knocked away from him, and a foul is called by Zaire DeBose, and it'll be Grandville basketball. 6:18 in the third quarter, 27-23. 2 fouls on DeBose, and now 2 also on the Wolves this half. They bring the full court pressure back on. Full court man pressure. Nice play by Hendrickson. Crossover move over the timeline. 2-hand feed. Left block. Regnaris spins into a double team. Flips up a 2-hand shot. Blocked away down low. Foul called. Regnaris will go to the line and shoot 2. I think they might have gotten DeBose again on that one. It's the third team foul regardless, and it is on DeBose. That is the third on the sophomore. 6:11 to go, third quarter. 27-23 Bulldogs. Regnaris to the line. The Bulldogs feeding the big man, CT.
Yeah, DeBose and Wiggins coming together and crashing on the double team. Almost got there in time. It would have been close to another charge, but Regnaris going just quick enough, able to get the foul call and get himself to the free throw line.
First free throw strong. One more coming up here for Regnaris. Right-hand shot. Rattles out. Cam missed them both the line. Tipped up 2 times for the rebound, and Warren Williams rips it down and takes it up the right side of the floor over the timeline. 2-hand feed to the top of the key to to Avante Wiggins. Wiggins bounces around a screen right corner. Handoff with the underhand move to Warren Williams. Williams to the free throw line. Fader with the left hand. Good. What a shot. Leaning over top of Tyson Mann. Somehow knocked it down. 27-25. Mann with the ball. Sprints up the middle of the floor. Tyson Mann right corner for Ryder Haight. Haight stops. Feeds it all the way across left corner. Hendrickson. Quick pass down low. Regnaris slides, lets the defense go by. Right-hand shot will not go. Bodies crashing over a wild basketball at center floor. Regnaris sliding on the ball, secures it. Held ball called. Alternating possession will go Wyoming's way. 5:34 in the third, 27-25. No one secured the basketball for about 15 seconds straight right there.
Regnaris diving down on the floor. He had a shot blocked away underneath the basket. Looked like he was a little upset about that, but then coming back and jumping on the basketball on the floor.
Avante Wiggins, right wing, defended by Mann. Underhand handoff, right wing for Warren Williams. Angles into the lane, pulls up left elbow, and flips it with the left hand out into the wing to Elijah Chandler. Chandler skip pass, top of the key to a driving Quentin Williams down the right side of the lane. High lollipop shot over top of Regnaris will not go. Rebound secured by Chandler. He'll launch a mid-range jumper, rattles out, and the rebound secured down by Quentin Hendrickson and the Bulldogs. Hendrickson up the middle of the floor, fouled. Top of the key, Avante Wiggins reaches in as he and Quentin Williams were looking for the double team. So they get Wiggins on that one. That's the 4th team foul, the 2nd on Avante Wiggins. 5:02 in the third. Bulldogs stay on top by 2, 27-25. Right side in the front court inbound. Heckman got it to Hendrickson, got it back, give and go, all alone, going to the basket on a Ryder Haight. Left-hand shot, reverse layup, good. What a move on the nice feed down low, 29-25 Bulldogs. Haight off to a good start. Wiggins drives all the way right block, turnaround shot short, rebound Cam Regnaris. That's ripped down and taken by Hendrickson, knocked away from him. Given on left corner to Quentin Williams. He'll launch a triple for the Wolves. No good. Rebound Avante Wiggins. Up and under move of his own right-hand shot. Good. And Wyoming back within 2, 29-27. 4.5 in the third quarter. Defensive foul called at center floor. Avante Wiggins tried to draw the charge. Instead, it's on him. And the Bulldogs keep the basketball. Third foul on Wiggins. 5th on the team. He'll take a seat. Donovan Edwards, the senior 6-foot guard, will check in here. Front court inbound, moving right to left. Near side, Heckman throws it in front of the timeline to Quentin Hendrickson. The senior drives across. Big screen set by Regnerus. Hendrickson drives to the basket. Right-hand floater. Strong, but a foul called. And Hendrickson will go to the line and shoot a couple. What a screen there by Cam Regnerus first, though.
Yeah, definitely held his ground there, able to spring his point guard free there. Hendrickson has looked comfortable handling the basketball through the pressure and then going strong to the right side.
Free throw pure for Hendrickson. And we'll get on the board in the second half here. Foul was on Jaden LaFleur, who had checked in there. Right now, 16 fouls on Wyoming this half, just 1 on the Bulldogs. Second for Hendrickson. Good. So 2 free throws good for number 2. And it's 31-27. Bulldog left side of the floor. Inbound on to Elijah Chandler. He'll face up here against the Bulldog man-to-man quarter-court pressure. Chandler drives, free throw line, spins into a mid-range floater, rattles home, and a foul over top of Ryder Haight. What a tough contested shot through contact by Elijah Chandler. Got it to go leaning in, and that will send Chandler to the line. 31-29 can bring his team within a point right here. Foul on Haight is his first. They have to correct the scoreboard because it's actually the Bulldogs' second foul, not the 7th on Wyoming. It's probably a little bit what the murmuring is in the gym as they will get ready to go to work with Elijah Chandler at the line right here. Chandler bends the knees, flicks it towards the basket, rattles out, too strong, and the rebound down to Tyson Mann. Mann, full court pressure on him from Elijah Chandler, angles up the right side of the floor over the timeline. Feed, right corner, extra pass to Hendrickson. Hendrickson up fake, up top, Tyson Mann. Mann angles into the lane, jump stop, right hand layup, too strong. Good look at it, but can't quite get it to go. Rebound to Chandler, thrown behind the defense, looking for Warren Williams. Throws it back along the baseline, in between his legs. Dribbles on to Elijah Chandler left wing. He'll back it out here for the Wolves. Final 4 minutes, third quarter. He'll launch a triple, good! Wyoming has the lead. Elijah Chandler spins it home, 32-31, 3:50 in the third.
Elijah Chandler's been carrying the Wolves so far, knocked down a big 3.
Left corner, Tyson Mann, triple, no good off the connector. Rebound, Heckman, no look pass, extra pass, left corner, all alone. Mann tries it again, no good, front iron. Rebound again, Heckman, power dribble, right hand shot, good, and the Bulldogs take the lead back, 33-32.
Possession from the Bulldogs. Tyson Mann, 2 open, looks at the 3, and not able to get either one to fall.
Chandler steps into a 3 left wing, short. Rebound, Cam Regnerus, giving on to Heckman. Heckman clears out the defense, dribbles it off his foot, stolen away by Quentin Williams. Williams poked away from behind by Haight, out of bounds. Left corner inbound coming up for the Wolves here. 3:16 to go, third quarter, 33-32 Bulldogs. Intensity picking up in this one as well. Elijah Chandler been doing the heavy lifting. Top of the key, defended by Ryder Haight. Crosses by Haight. Step back move, top of the key, skips it. Some miscommunication. He was looking for Quentin Williams. Williams cut towards the baseline instead of towards the basketball. It skips its way out of bounds, and Grandville takes back over. Chandler gets a much-deserved rest right here as Buster Cross, the 5'10 junior, comes on in his place. Heckman to throw it in to Tyson Mann. Mann watched in the backcourt by Edwards. Crosses over with a nice stutter step move. Mann, top of the key, stops. Left corner, Hendrickson with space. Up fake, down low for Regnerus. Tips away from him along the baseline. Nice effort. Quentin Williams flying through the air. Saves the basketball. Tries to go flying up the floor. Ran into Heckman. Foul called on Heckman. 2:51, third quarter. First foul on Heckman. Bulldog faithful don't love that call. Both sides coming to their feet right now in this one. Third team foul on the Bulldogs, first on Corbin Heckman. 33-32 Bulldogs, 2:50 and less, third quarter. Slowly up the floor is Quentin Williams, 5'10 senior guard, wears number 4 in black. Bounces around a screen, top of the key, angles down the right side of the lane. Right-hand shot blocked away at the basket by Cam Regnerus. Heckman the rebound, ripped away from him, re-secured by Heckman, then poked away one more time and stolen away by Quentin Williams. He is fouled in the lane. Bulldogs wanted to travel first, but it is a foul on the Dogs. That is their 4th team foul. We'll see who they get out of that scrum. Elijah Chandler checks back in here for Buster Cross, and they will get Heckman with his 2nd, team's 4th. 2.5 to go, third quarter, 33-32 Bulldogs. Baseline left inbound coming up for Elijah Chandler. Chandler lobs it left wing to a leaping Warren Williams. Defended by Heckman across the floor. Williams steps into a lefty three, rattles out too strong, rebound down to man. The Bulldogs going to run with it. Man up the right side of the floor, bouncing over the timeline. Two-hand feed, left corner for Ryder Haight. Left side, all alone, catch and shoot three. Hendrickson, short off the front rim, rebound down to Haight, back on Hendrickson, left wing triple, short again, rebound on to Heckman, and a foul called that's knocked away from him from behind by Warren Williams. That is the team's 7th. The Bulldogs are shooting free throws for the final 10 minutes, 10 seconds of this game.
That's now a couple possessions in the second half where they've had multiple open looks, added 3 on the same possession. Shots just not falling from beyond the arc, but they're sticking with it. Guys down low going for some rebounds. Heckman and Regnerus both working down there.
First free throw, Heckman too strong. He struggled at the line. The whole team has struggled at the line tonight. They've struggled at the three-point line and the free throw line in this one. Right side of the floor, Elijah Chandler with the basketball. Crosses in, step back shot, right elbow, strong, rebound down to Cam Regnerus. Kind of forcing it right now, Elijah Chandler and this entire team. Hendrickson up the near side of the floor, poked away center court by Quentin Williams, regathered by Hendrickson. Jump pass, left corner, all alone. Ryder Haight, triple try. Strong off the back iron, rebound, batted out into the Bulldog bench, and it will be Wyoming basketball. Again, wide open look, no one within 15 feet. The shot just will not fall for the Bulldogs.
That's a good design. Hendrickson attacking off the left side, gets the defense to collapse, recognizes Ryder Haight open in the corner and dishes it out to him. Haight's hit a couple of threes on the night. That one unable to go, wide open again.
Quentin Williams, left-hand dribble over the timeline up the left side of the floor. Final 1:40, third quarter. He'll step into a deep three over top of Hendrickson. Pure, high-arcing shot right down the hatch. Wyoming by 2. In his face, what a shot by Quentin Williams, 35-33. Tyson Mann with a 2-point lead. This is the largest deficit faced by the Bulldogs in this one. Mann crossing top of the key, defended by Donovan Edwards. Feeds it right corner for Heckman. Drives baseline, jump pass, free throw line. Skying Regnerus, jamming with 2 hands. We're tied at 35. Second dunk of the night for Cam Regnerus, 35-35. Williams crosses top of the key, poked out of there by Hendrickson, and he'll back it out to the half-court line. Left wing, Williams, stutter step, got the defender to go by, floater in the lane, strong off the window, rebound on the second effort secured by Heckman. The Bulldogs the basketball in the tie game. Final 51 seconds of the third, pressure is on, nice feed on to Hendrickson and a nice behind the back dribble to get free, fed it on to Haight, right wing 3 with a whole bunch of space. That one will not go, hit the connector on its way back down, and the Bulldogs give up possession again as that one goes out. Another missed 3. This Bulldogs attack in 3 in a row for Ryder Haight. The champ from the Wyoming student section was not a shooter. Well, I'm not sure they want to keep up that energy because he has shown that he is in the past. Final 41 seconds, third quarter tied at 35. Wiggins hands off Warren Williams. The lefty sophomore drives in the lane, cut off left block by Tyson Mann. Jump pass right side for a leaping Quentin Williams. Williams defended by Hendrickson. Final 25 seconds. Angles right side, foul called on the floor. They get the Bulldogs and Hendrickson. 15 foul. We're going to have a lot of free throws, I think, coming up in the final quarter of this one.
It's definitely looking like it.
First on Hendrickson, 5th on the Bulldogs. That's the one thing for the Bulldogs is they don't really have anyone in significant foul trouble. 2 on Mann, 2 on Heckman, that's all. Inbounded right side to Elijah Chandler in front of the timeline. Haight will come in on him defensively to start the 5-second clock. Spins top of the key with the basketball. Final 13 seconds of the third. Elijah Chandler rocks the ball one more time. Step back 3. That one over top of Regnerus is pure. 38-35, final 4 seconds. Ryder Haight, center court, has it knocked out of bounds. They'll actually say it was last off of Haight, though. And Wyoming gets the ball at center court. What a shot over top of Cam Regnerus, though.
Yeah, that's impressive when you're able to get the shot up there. We've seen Regnerus block a couple threes similar to that, but Chandler able to get it up and over from well beyond the arc.
Hendrickson takes a seat. Hungerford comes on. Finally, the Bulldogs make a substitution here. Wolves will do the same as they bring Marvin on for Warren Williams. 3.3 third quarter. Front court left side inbound for Wyoming, who now have a 3-point lead. 38-35. Inbounded, blocked away by Mann on to Ryder Haight. Haight tries a 3 from the volleyball line. He is fouled by Quentin Williams with .2 on the third quarter clock, and he will go to the line to shoot 3. Very heady play by the senior there.
Yeah, great recognition of how much time was on the clock. Able to get the loose ball and quickly go up the court. Realized he wasn't going to have enough time to get inside in the lane area, so tried to get a shot up. Williams right there drawing the contact.
All right, Ryder Haight at the line. Offsets the feet right slightly in front of the left for number 11 in white. First free throw, pure. He's got 2 more, can tie the game as we go to the final frame. As if this place wasn't nuts enough already. Flicks the hair back, dribbles once to the right. Free throw, rattles home. It looks short, but it got the friendly touch and drops. Zaire DeBose checks in for Marvin. Baron Baker also comes back in for the Wolves here as Avante Wiggins will take a seat. Or check that, as Donovan Edwards will take a seat. 1 more to tie the game at the line here. Short. Bulldogs will stay down 1 as the rebound is grabbed by Wiggins to end the third quarter. 38-37 Wyoming. We'll be right back here from VanderSlice Gymnasium. Don't go anywhere, not that you were even thinking about going anywhere in this one.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here. Game night on Michigan Sports Radio, as well as game night on the NFHS Network, all part of the Game Night Network through MichiganGameNight.com. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. All right, CT, final frame of this one, 38-37. Wyoming the lead. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame celebrates the city's rich sports history by honoring prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports on a local, state, or national level. The GRS-HOF also presents annual events in support of West Michigan athletics and raises funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Follow Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame on Facebook and check out pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at GRSHOF.com. Bulldogs home white uniforms, still in football mode. Home white uniforms will get the ball to start the final frame. Inbound to Tyson Mann. Ripped that ball on away from a charging Avante Wiggins and takes over the timeline. Switch on him. Quentin Williams picks him up. 2-hand feed, man blocked away. Got it back himself. Jump pass, right corner, all alone. Heckman 3. Too short, front iron. Rebound down to Hungerford. Hungerford reaches up top for Mann. Long 3, all alone. Good. 40-38 Bulldogs. Tyson Mann right down the hatch. Right corner, all alone. Quentin Williams tries a 3 of his own. Can't answer. Rattles out. Rebound down to DeBose. Ripped away from him by Ryder. The Bulldogs take it. Thrown up to Tyson Mann in front of the timeline. Able to spin by Elijah Chandler. Nice low dribbles. What a move by Tyson Mann. Angling left wing. Kicks up top for Heckman. Heckman skips it back left side. Tyson Mann. Final 7:17 of the fourth quarter. Mann backs it out. Standing on the Grandville block G at center floor. Angles right side. Defended by Quentin Williams. Down the right side along the baseline. Reaches around the defender. Left corner. Hungerford thought about a shot. Drives inside. Underhand feed. Free throw line. Regnera spins into the lane. Floater from 6 feet. Too strong. Rebound down to Avante Wiggins. The sophomore sprints up the left side of the floor. Final 7 minutes of the ball game. 40-38 Grandville. Wiggins will back it out. Throws it left side. Quentin Williams thinks about the long 3 on the up fake. Defended by Heckman. Back right side for Wiggins. Bulldogs in their man-to-man half-court pressure. Wiggins gets a switch on him. Right corner, Mann picks up the defense. Drives free throw line. Floater over top of Hungerford. Rattles home. We're tied at 40. 6.5 to go. Tough shot by the sophomore. Avante Wiggins goes.
Nice patience from Wiggins there to go up with the shot fake. Allow Tyson Mann to fly by and then get the short-range jumper.
Mann, no-look feed. Right corner, Ryder Haight. He'll back it out behind the right arc. Haight picks up the dribble, looking for the passing lane. Jump pass left side to a leaping Tyson Mann. Mann angles into the lane, flips up the shot, foul called. He'll go to the line for 2. Into a mass of Wyoming bodies. Tyson Mann able to draw the contact. That's the 8th team foul on Wyoming, and that is the 3rd foul on, no, that is the 4th foul on Avante Wiggins. 4 on Wiggins, 3 on Quentin Williams. That's a big deal. Mann at the line, right foot offset in front of the left. First free throw rattles out. Free throws becoming an issue for the Bulldogs in this one.
Yeah, not able to capitalize at the free throw line as we got a tie game here. Tyson Mann kind of got taken out of the flow of the game early on due to some foul trouble, but making a statement here, a strong start to the fourth quarter.
Rattles out on the second one. Fight for the rebound. Heckman came in, tied up Donovan Edwards aggressively, held ball. It goes to Wyoming, but what an effort by Heckman to jump in there on kind of a, I won't say a lazy play by Edwards, but certainly not expecting that as Heckman jumps all over him and able to get the possession arrow back the Bulldogs' direction. And we have got a timeout on the floor. It is called by Coach Vanderklay. 6:11 to go, fourth quarter, tied at 40. This is a wild one. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back from VanderSlice Gymnasium.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car.
Hey, my car!
And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
All right, welcome back to VanderSlice Gymnasium. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you. Grandville 40, Wyoming 40. Final 6:11 to go. Coach Vanderklay just burned a timeout for the Wolves, and they will have the ball coming out of the timeout. 5 team fouls on the Bulldogs, 9 on the Wolves. So the Bulldogs are shooting 2 free throws the rest of the way in this one. They'll bring out their half-court defense for Coach Desmond Young, who watches on. And the Wolves inbound it left to right here across the radio dial. Elijah Chandler throws it in to Quentin Williams. They're kind of 2 leaders, especially in the backcourt, along with Devontae Wiggins in this ball game. Around a screen, left wing Williams drives free throw line, spins in, cut off by Mann. Left side to Edwards, up fake, walks into the lane, launches a tough shot, left elbow, good. Right in rhythm over top of a defender. Edwards knocks it down, 42-40. Hendrickson up the left side of the floor, behind the back dribble to blow over the timeline, defended by Donovan Edwards. Final 5:45 of the fourth quarter. Game grinding down just a little bit right here. Heckman feeds down left block. Regnerus foul called on Baron Baker as he reaches in trying to rip the ball away. That'll be 4 on him, and that'll be 10 on the team. 2 at the line coming up for Cam Regnerus.
Bulldogs stayed persistent trying to get the ball down to Regnerus, but the Wolves all night have been battling down there and been able to frustrate Regnerus at times. Just a little bit late getting there on the closeout. The foul called gets Regnerus back to the free throw line, trying to capitalize now.
Regnerus straddles the line. Right hand free throw short, but able to fall as it got the high touch off the rim and drops. Not been a pure night at the line. I think I know what Coach Young might have the team doing in the next practice session quite a bit of. One more here to knot the game at 42. Regnerus, the junior. Pure right down the middle. Good night for him continues. Elijah Chandler will take it up the right side of the floor. Throws right corner Warren Williams, the sophomore. Defended by Heckman. Throws with the left hand in front of the timeline to a leaping Quentin Williams. He'll drive left wing with it. Handoff there on to Donovan Edwards. Edwards crosses in the lane, forced back out behind the arc by Tyson Mann. Handoff, right wing Elijah Chandler. Backs in the lane, fader over top of Ryder Haight, rattles out. Rebound to Regnerus, spiked away by Edwards. He'll race right corner, save it himself, and throw it right wing for Chandler. Back on to Edwards, toes the line right corner, defended by Heckman. He'll back it out now and start the dribble. Edwards crosses into the right wing, defended by Heckman, staying on him. Heckman tries to go for the poke. Edwards drives the lane, right hand layup, blocked away Cam Regnerus, out of bounds. Wyoming keeps the basketball. 6:02 to go, fourth quarter, tied at 42.
The Bulldogs have some tremendous on-ball defenders, but it's always nice to have that safety blanket of Regnerus down there if you do get beat off the dribble.
Right wing Warren Williams launches a 3 off the inbound, strong off the back iron. High leaping rebound down to Baron Baker. Feeds up top for Williams. Sidesteps a defender. Long step back, 18-foot jumper. Good. Over top of Tyson Mann. What a shot by Quentin Williams to go back on top. 44-42 Wyoming. 4:46 to go. Mann stripped to the ball at center floor. Picks it back up. Flies into the lane. Had the ball knocked away from behind. Came on to Quentin Williams. He'll run the length of the floor and score with the right hand. Wyoming by 2. Pressure is on. Hendrickson behind the back dribble, beats it over the timeline. Foul called. Edwards getting handsy, reaches in. 2 at the line for Hendrickson. I think the Bulldogs going back wanted something in one direction, called on that wild flailing play against Tyson Mann into the lane. It turned instead into 2 points for Wyoming, but now Quentin Hendrickson at the line has a chance to get a couple back here, CT.
Yeah, Tyson Mann never really had control of the basketball. It was kind of loose. He was weaving between defenders, just trying to get kind of back to the basketball. Ended up a basket easy for the Wolves.
First one pure at the line. Bulldogs within 3, 43-46. Hendrickson, Haight, man the Bulldog backcourt. The big guys, Heckman and Regneris up there. Second free throw, Hendrickson, pure. Knocked them both down. The Bulldogs get back within 2, 46-44. 4.5 to go. Left side of the floor, Quentin Williams slowly over the timeline, defended by Tyson Mann, taking a little bit of air out of the basketball compared to the pace they normally run at. Williams spins into the lane, thinks about the mid-range pull-up jumper, spins away from Ryder Haight, in rhythm right-hand shot, rolls out, rebound Williams, blocked away Regneris, but a foul is called. Is it on the floor or was that on the shot? I think it's on the floor. It is going to be on the floor. It is the third on Heckman. That is still listed as the team 6, so I guess they are going to call it a shooting foul as Williams unable to knock the first one down. It is a shooting foul. He'll get one more to come here. There's our answer.
Yeah, Heckman was a little bit more behind the ball, and Regneris was the one going up to contest the shot, but he reached in there from the backside as he was going up.
Williams misses them both as that one was short. Rebound down to Tyson Mann, stripped from him, rolled on to Regneris, who gave it on to Heckman, who throws it up the right side of the floor over the timeline to Hendrickson. Behind the back dribble, lost the handle against Edwards, regathers up top. Heckman swings left corner, Tyson Mann. Mann drives, fouled from behind. It wasn't called. He then gave it into the lane to Cam Regneris, who is fouled on the floor. He will go to the line and shoot 2. And that is 5 on Baron Baker. He's done. So Baron Baker will have to take a seat for the evening. Zaire DeBose, who has a little bit of foul trouble of his own, will have to check in. Remember, there is no one big for this Wyoming team. Baron Baker at 6'3" is the biggest guy they have on offer, and he is now done as DeBose comes in his place. Double bonus for the Bulldogs is on. Actually, it was Tyson Mann that got fouled, not Cam Regneris. So it'll be Mann going to the line, down 2. He can tie it here.
Tyson Mann going to the left side, was going to dump it off to Regneris, but got reached in from behind as he was looking to dish it off.
Free throw, Mann, too strong. Leaping rebound. He'll grab it himself at the free throw line. But it looks like we may have had a lane violation before he did so. Actually, I believe we had some substitutions that weren't finished. So Avante Wiggins will check in. Quentin Williams will check out. Actually, it wasn't a 1-1. It's 2 shots, obviously. We're into the double bonus. Second free throw for Mann rattles home. Don't mess up, kids. It's the first game of the year. You're going to draw me off, too. 1-point game, 46-45. Left corner, Donovan Edwards spins into the lane, defended by Mann, reaching, foul called on Tyson. Team 7th, that will send Edwards to the line for a 1-1. 3:47 to go, fourth quarter, 46-45.
Starting to see the contact called a little bit more tightly as we come down the stretch here. As the Bulldogs in the double bonus and the Wolves already in the bonus as well.
First free throw for Edwards, rattles out. He won't get a second one. Rebound down to Cam Regneris. He'll give it on to Tyson Mann. 46-45 Wyoming. Mann beats the pressure up the left side of the floor over the timeline. Mann left wing dribbling. Feeds on Hendrickson left corner. Back up top for Tyson Mann. Whistle called away from the ball. Foul on Wyoming. They're going to get Edwards as he grabbed on to Cam Regneris. Regneris will go to the line for 2. He can take the lead at the charity stripe.
Edwards doing everything he can, trying to deny the post entry pass to Regneris, but just giving up too much of a size advantage there. He was battling, but contact as he was trying to push out.
Wide stance Regneris. First slow free throw spins home. 46-46, 3:33 to go, fourth quarter. Thanks to the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency and Centennial Securities, our presenting sponsors here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Game Night on the NFHS Network as well this winter. Free throw up and good. He hit them both, and the Bulldogs take the lead back. Nice 2-for-2 work by the junior Cam Regneris at the line. Grandville 47, Wyoming 46. Stepping into a 3, Quentin Williams buries it over top of Quentin Hendrickson. What a shot. 49-47, 3:20 in the fourth. Mann blows over the timeline of the right-hand dribble. Defended by Edwards. Fakes left, crosses right, ball on the floor, crashing after it. Mann's got it, massive humanity. Foul on Donovan Edwards. Out of the pile, it's going to be his third foul and 2 at the line here for Tyson Mann. Wyoming faithful don't love the call. Been an aggressive game for both teams, especially this Wyoming defense. They'll pick up a late foul here and send Tyson to the line down 2 for 2 at the line. The Bulldogs doing all their work at the free throw line late right now.
Yeah, the Bulldogs a little out of control once again, but getting the benefit of the call there on the loose ball. Gets Tyson Mann back to the free throw line.
Tyson splashes the first one. Mann will get one more. Where's number 0 in white? Bends the knees, flicks it up with the right hand. We're tied again. Spun it home. 49-49, final 3:11. Right side of the floor, Vontae Wiggins running with it. Crosses down to the right baseline. Picks up the dribble, double teamed and defended. Wiggins working, nearly traveled with the basketball. Feeds it out right side for DeBose. He'll hand out in front of the timeline to Elijah Chandler. Chandler defended by Haight. Bounces around a screen. Hesitation. Long step back 2. Over top of Regnerus. Misses everything short. Fight for the rebound. Bounces out of bounds. Last touched by Ryder Haight. It'll stay Wyoming basketball. He is incensed at the call, but it stays with the Wolves. Baseline left inbound coming up for Vontae Wiggins. 2:49 of the fourth quarter. 49-49. Extra pass up top. Quentin Williams gets him started. Left quarter for Elijah Chandler. Chandler jabbing and working. Defended by Cam Regnerus. Skips out in front of the timeline to Williams. They're slowing down the offense a little bit. 2.5 to go. Fourth quarter tied at 49. Williams crosses, floater, good, over top of Heckman. Another tough, unbelievable contested make for Quentin Williams, who's taken over this game, Chandler.
Got 9 points in the fourth quarter.
Down low, Regnerus skies, looking for the dunk, missed it. Rebound down to Ryder Haight, and he scores off the window on the putback. 51-51, final 2:15 of the fourth. Avante Wiggins all the way down the floor. Lost the handle, regathers, and skips it on to DeBose. Back on, curling Wiggins, tries a 3. Short rebound, Ryder Haight rips it down out of there. Couple big rebounds for Haight. Feeds on to Tyson Mann. He's got numbers. Mann to the basket. Right hand layup. Good. Bulldogs back on top. 53-51. The gym explodes. Final 1:53.
Fantastic 2-on-1 fast break. Tyson Mann making eye contact with Regnerus. Had to hold the defender there, not allow the easy basket, and the dish off to Cam Regnerus allows the drive for Tyson Mann.
Left corner Elijah Chandler will back it out in front of the timeline. Final 1:38. Defended by Hendrickson. Crosses in. Foul on Hendrickson. Team is 8th, and that'll send Elijah Chandler to the line for a 1-and-1. Quentin doesn't love the foul call. Warren Williams will come in here for DeBose. So a 1-and-1 coming up at the line for Elijah Chandler. 1:36 to go, fourth quarter, 53-51 Grandville. I'm amazed that we got this high of the scoring the way it started. Chandler wears number 10 in black. Too strong through the noise. Rebound, Ryder Haight races to another basketball. Held ball is called on the tie-up. The Bulldogs will get possession. Old Jim had to wait. Would it be a foul as they got run into? Would it be the held ball? The held ball, the called. Heckman inbounds to Tyson Mann. Foul off the ball on Edwards, and it will be 2 at the line here for, I think it was Mann that got ahead. We'll see who they wind up actually calling it on. That's 4 on Edwards, and deep into the double bonus for Wyoming.
Yeah, they're trying to set a screen and get Tyson Mann some space to catch the inbound pass, and Edwards held on to him as he was trying to cut backwards.
All right, Bulldogs lead 53-51, and Tyson Mann has got a couple at the line. First one good for Tyson. Can't say I'm surprised. He's come up big in the clutch again.
And Tyson Mann also 9 points in the fourth quarter now.
Wow. One more for Tyson. Feet offset, right-hand shot. Good. Hit them both. Double digits in the fourth quarter for Mann. Timeout, Coach Young. 1:34, fourth quarter. Will stay with you. 55-51. As exciting of a night and atmosphere as we've seen in VanderSlice Gymnasium in quite some time. And if the Bulldogs hang on to win this one, it's going to add to things just that much more, CT.
Yeah, it's been a battle here for the last quarter plus. Early on in the game, looked like the Bulldogs were going to dominate and they might have a chance to run away with this one, but Wyoming has given them a battle. The Bulldogs have had to come all the way back now, finally able to get a 4-point lead.
What a second half it's been. It's been tough. The shots that weren't falling for both teams falling. For the Bulldogs, it's wide open looks and free throws finally falling. For Wyoming, it's Quentin Williams just knocking down shots from 25 feet with hands in his face. Absolutely incredible performance by the Wyoming senior.
Yeah, he's been fantastic, especially in the fourth quarter, but really there's been a couple guards, Elijah Chandler and then Quentin Williams has taken over in the fourth quarter, but making some contested shots. For as many open looks as the Bulldogs were missing, it's been contested looks on the Wolves' end that have been some ridiculous shots where they've had a hand in the face. It's been some tough mid-range jumpers and a few feet beyond the arc that they've been able to hit and keep themselves in it.
I think you play this game 10 times, you regress it to the mean. I think Grandville probably likes how it goes in probably 7 or 8 times, but first game of basketball season, you never know, and sometimes those tough shots are going to fall, and sometimes the easy ones won't fall for you, and that's been a little bit of what has happened in this one. Very well-played game by both teams, especially, I think, Coach Young's team keeping up and staying alive in the pressure that Wyoming throws at you in the first game of the season. 1:34 to go, fourth quarter, 55-51. Stay with us after the game for the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency postgame show. We'll hand out the Centennial Securities Player of the Game and much more in that. Also, make sure you come back tomorrow, 2 o'clock. We're on the air with the first 3 of 4 games from Calvin University's Van Ord Arena, and the Invite Michigan Sports Radio also will have game 4. Here comes Quinn Williams, the senior, up the left side of the floor, now trailing by 4, 55-51. Williams, step back move, top of the key, stolen away Ryder Haight. Haight racing behind the defense to the basket, right-hand shot, strong with some late pressure. Rebound fought for along the baseline, ripped down by Hendrickson, and he is fouled. Or do they give the Bulldogs a timeout? That's what it was. Coach Young calls a timeout as he saved the ball along the baseline. Great effort there by Quentin Hendrickson. And now both teams will get to talk about it a little bit more here, CT. 1:16 to go, fourth quarter. We'll stay with you through one more timeout.
Ryder Haight able to poke the ball free and then jump on it. Had a chance to go strong back the other way. Missed the layup. Quentin Hendrickson there to clean it up. Strong rebound from him right along the baseline. Was trying to get it out of there. But then a smart decision to try to get the timeout. Both he and Coach Young calling for the timeout at the same time. Not exactly sure who had it first, but the Bulldogs going to be able to keep possession.
Huge performance by Ryder Haight, really doing all the little things, grabbing rebounds, getting steals in these last couple minutes of this contest. 55-51 Grandville here in the season opener against Wyoming. Both teams looking to start the year 1-0, only one can. And the Bulldogs will baseline right inbound this one. Hendrickson will throw it in. He stands on the first L in Grandville to put this one in. Hendrickson with the ball from the official, lobs it all the way up top to a leaping Ryder Haight. He's immediately defended by Elijah Chandler. Tight defense on him, man-to-man pressure. Haight reaches around, errant pass into the scorer's table. He was looking for a dipping and diving. Quentin Hendrickson can't hit him. Wyoming takes the basketball back. 1:07 to go, fourth quarter. Bulldogs by 4, 55-51.
The Wolves got Haight to pick up his dribble close to the half-court line there, and then he was trapped just trying to find an outlet and forced a bad pass.
Chandler bounces into the lane. Right-hand shot, strong off the top of the connector. Fight for the rebound. To a side, scrum on the floor. Racing out of there is Quentin Williams. He'll feed it left wing for Avante Wiggins. Wiggins around a screen, gets picked up defensively by Ryder Haight. Final 45 seconds. Crossover. Wiggins into the lane. Slides. Right-hand shot reaching around. Regnerus will not fall. Rebound down to Hendrickson. Hendrickson behind the back dribble. Splits the defense. Through the defense, and he's grabbed and fouled hard from behind. And that'll be 2 at the line for Quentin Hendrickson. 34.7 on the clock. 55-51. Big free throws right here for Hendrickson to try to just about maybe start to ice this thing away. Don't want to say that too much. We've seen the quick runs Wyoming can go on.
Yeah, for some of the struggles the Bulldogs have had at the free throw line, you can kind of erase a little bit of that here if you're able to hit some of these shots and ice this game.
Looks like we got a 30-second timeout called by Coach Vanderklay here. That is the third foul on Warren Williams there, the one they got the grab, and that is, I don't have the exact count in front of me, but that's got to be close to 20, if not 25 on the Wolves here. They've played an aggressive style, and we've seen a lot of fouls called throughout this one. Both teams into the bonus, and both teams nearly into the double bonus. 8 fouls on the Bulldogs. 55-51 Grandville, 34.7. And it will be Quentin Hendrickson at the line with a chance to put the Bulldogs up a little bit more. Up 4 right now, can go up as much as 6, and a couple of 3-pointers.
Hendrickson 4 points on the night. All 4 of his points coming at the free throw lines, looking to add to that tally.
Hendrickson had some offensive struggles in this one. He's had some looks. Hasmail knock him down. Missed a couple at the free throw line as well, but talk about a way to build some momentum back if he can knock down a couple big ones right here. Bends the knees, flicks it towards the basket with the right, rattles home. Hit the first one. We'll have an exhale from him as well, as that one took a couple rattles to find its way on home. 56-51 Grandville, 34.7. One more at the line for Hendrickson. He was the star off the bench a year ago. He hit that one right down the hatch. 57-51, Bulldogs by 6. Left side of the floor, Quentin Williams defended full court by Ryder Haight. Foul called on Haight as he kind of gave him a little bit of a hip up the floor. So that'll be 1-1 at the line, 9th team foul for Quentin Williams. Third on Ryder Haight, 30.6. Haight asking for a bit of an explanation from the officials. He did still give a little bit of that hip on there on the full court defense. And Quentin Williams goes to work at the line here for the Wolves. Wears number 4 in black. First at the line, too strong off the connector, leaping rebound. Who else? Ryder Haight out of the scrum. And a timeout is awarded to the Bulldog bench as he is double, triple, and quadruple teamed as soon as he grabbed that basketball. 27.5 fourth quarter, 57-51. We will quick step aside during this timeout.
Jerry opened the letter. An eviction notice? He and his family couldn't bear to move again. It was warm and they had plenty of space for their acorns. Anxiety took a hold of him. Then suddenly,
you've got squirrels in your engine and they chew through the wiring.
And it was covered, thanks to a farmer's agent. Engine Bay Squatters, May 23rd, 2015. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today at 616-531-3441. Your local farmer's agent who helps you plan for the unexpected.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer here on Michigan Game Night. Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio, as well as on the NFHS Network through the Grandville Athletics page there, or Grandville Bulldogs page on the NFHS Network. Thanks to everyone that's tuning in through that for the first time this year. We, of course, have the video feed through the Grandville Athletics YouTube during the football season, now back on the NFHS Network this winter. Hopefully working on some other things as well through the high school in terms of different video and different things coming up here that we're looking forward to, maybe for some Grandville home games and so on and so forth. 27.5 seconds on the clock, fourth quarter, 57-51 Grandville, and the Bulldogs will have the basketball here from along their own baseline for this inbound. Of course, the Wolves will bring the full court pressure down 6. Hendrickson looking to throw it in, got it into a sprinting Heckman who is running back towards him. Give it back on for Hendrickson, spinning away from the first wave of the defense, dumps it over the timeline. Avante Wiggins goes crashing into the scorer's table, trying to save that basketball. It tips off of him out of bounds. That is selling out by the sophomore for the ball right there.
That was a low pass trying to get it up to Heckman. Williams able to jump in there and get a piece of it.
Inbounded to Cam Regneris, and he is grabbed and fouled by either Quentin or Warren Williams. Not quite sure who they're going to get on that reach. They will get Warren Williams for his 4th. 2 at the line for Cam Regneris. Bulldogs don't have anyone along the key right here. Everyone goes in the backcourt to defend, up 57-51. It looks like it's going to be 1-0 for Coach Young's team to start the year. First free throw, Regneris short. That continues to have to be something that team-wide they're going to have to work on.
Definitely could use some improvement from the free throw line. They did hit a number of them down the stretch here that allowed them to build the lead, so you like to see that.
Second one, short as well for Cam Regneris. Rebound down to Quentin Williams, and a timeout immediately called by Coach Vanderklay, who will set this up. 17.6 on the clock, fourth quarter, 57-51. Bulldogs close to finishing this one off, Chandler, and if they do finish this one off, this is a really, really big win to start the year, you have to say.
Yeah, it is. You kind of got the full experience of early on controlling the game and playing the style that you wanted to then being out of control and more giving way to what the opponent was trying to force you into, all the way to come right back to kind of righting the ship, able to get things under control for the last stretch run, build yourself a lead, execute when it matters. Didn't shoot a great percentage from the field tonight, I'm sure. You know, interesting to see the exact number looking back on this game once all said and done, but I think down the stretch able to get some looks that they liked, get Regneris down in the post, and then hit some tough shots as well in order to get the first win of the season.
This is the most electric, in terms of full student section, pretty full parent section as well. For a December game I've just about ever seen here. Coach Young talked about he wants to build Grandville into a basketball community and a basketball school. this is some progress here on night one of doing just that with the energy up here, especially if you beat a still kind of crosstown rival, of course, as well, in Wyoming. Up the right side of the floor, Vontae Wiggins runs over the timeline of the ball. Final 13 seconds, 57-51 Grandville. Handoff, right corner, Quentin Williams. Drives, launches a wild three over top of Hendrickson, no good. Leaping rebound, Cam Regneris. He's fouled on the fight for the ball. 2 more at the line, 5 seconds on the clock, and I'm going to call that it. Grandville going to start 1-0 on the year. A gutsy win in this one, CT, that they're 5 seconds away from getting.
Yeah, very impressive. But they had the battle. They had some of their things that they were looking to do offensively taken away from them. They were able to frustrate Regneris at times. Got Tyson Mann into some foul trouble, but the Bulldogs able to use their depth and their multiple scoring options to keep pace.
Regneris misses again. He has to take a quick second, puts the hands on the knees to regather himself. Fires up one more, missed it short. Rebound batted around. And immediately a timeout called by the Wyoming bench with 4.1. Wyoming student section not hanging around for the end. They're going to clear their way on out. The Grandville side waves towards them, but Coach Vanderklay, of course, not quite done yet as he calls that timeout. There's nothing that, as we're in our first game of the year and remembering things, there's nothing that quite drags on like a 6-point but still completely academic high school basketball game in the final 7 seconds.
Yeah,
nothing like it.
Especially when you've had probably, 30 fouls in the second half, and both teams have been shooting free throws for a quarter plus.
I mean, I'll be curious after the game to see the official total. It is at least 30 fouls. Right now, fouls deep into the double bonus for Grandville, and the Bulldogs have got 9 fouls of their own. But just about ready to wrap it up, and it will be 1-0 for the Bulldogs, and right away, back at it tomorrow. Calvin Christian, they start the invite. 2 o'clock around the year with that game, but that is a big opportunity for the Bulldogs, though. Beat one crosstown rival, beat another in-town rival, then maybe tomorrow. I mean, Calvin Christian, of course, a really, really formidable foe. First-year head coach there is a longtime head coach Ryan Stevens stepped aside. Long inbound pass into Warren Williams. He'll launch a deep three off the glass, no good. Rebound grab by Chandler. Put back is good. I don't think they're going to count it. The clock's hit triple zeros. That'll do it. 57-51. The Bulldogs hang on, and Grandville is 1-0 for the second straight year to start a season. A tough win, a gritty win, a real determined win over a team that certainly comes in, dominates the play. You know they're going to play it their way, Wyoming that is. The Bulldogs are able to go toe-to-toe with them here today, Chandler, and they come away with a win. They go 1-0 on the season, 57-53. We welcome you into our Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency post-game show. All right, I know you've already kind of given your first thoughts a couple times, but again, wrap it up. That's a big win, I think, for the Bulldogs. To win against a team like this and the way they had to play, the way they had to find a way to win when the offense was not there for the first 3 quarters, really, this game, really impressive.
Yeah, it was. I think they had to battle for it. They had some of their top options. Regneris at times, he still, we'll go through the numbers here in a little bit, it was still right around 14 points, but at times was taken out of this game. The defensive game plan for the Wolves, they had some foul trouble. There was a physical style of play being allowed at times. Even though there's a lot of foul calls, there was still a lot of physical play happening, and the Bulldogs were able to overcome it. You kind of got your first glimpse at to what this team could be, and you saw them be able to adjust their style and still be effective.
There were 30 fouls in the second half. Maybe there could have been like 40 or 45 if they really started calling everything. Desmond Young, head coach for the Bulldogs. I mean, talk about what this means. This was, there were some X's and O's here. They were trying to find those matchups and keep your team under composure against what Coach Vanderklay brings. To beat a coach like Coach Vanderklay in your second year, very impressive win for him at the helm of this Bulldogs team as well.
Yeah, it sure is. I think when you're talking about a coach like Vanderklay on the other side, where has so much experience, to see him make in-game adjustments to get the Bulldogs out of rhythm right around just before the halfway point, and then able to kind of take over for a quarter there. You can see just the expertise and the experience on that sideline to affect the game, but Coach Young able to get his squad to stay with it and then eventually pull ahead.
All right, a lot more to break down in this one. When we come back, we'll go over some stats and we will hand out our Centennial Securities Player of the Game Award. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency postgame show. Grandville 1-0. They win this one 57-53 over Wyoming to start the season.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Can you identify your number one personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Welcome back, Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timberley here on the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency post-game show. All right, CT, let's go through some stats, go through awards, and then get out of here because we've got 3 tomorrow. Right back at it.
Yeah, starting for Wyoming. Leading all scorers, Elijah Chandler, 21 points, 13 for Quentin Williams, 8 for Avante Wiggins, 5 for Donovan Edwards, 4 for Warren Williams, 2 for Logan Marvin. Going over to the Bulldogs, leading the way, Cam Regnerus, 14 points, 12 points for both Ryder Haight and Tyson Mann, 9 points for Corbin Heckman, 6 for Quentin Hendrickson, 2 for Nate Summers, and 2 for Colin Hybor.
All right, Centennial Securities player of the game. This one is actually, for me, kind of tough to figure out exactly where to go. At the end of the day, the Bulldog leading scorer and the guy that really drew everything was Cam Regnerus. He made a couple big defensive plays as well. I think you have to go with the junior. I mean, certainly a clutch player of the game goes to a guy like Tyson Mann for scoring double digits in the final frame, but I think game long, the impact Cam Regnerus, what he's going to have this year, even on nights where he isn't scoring a ton, what you see on both ends of the floor as a defensive anchor as well as the attention he draws offensively, we saw tonight a little bit of what I think Cam Regnerus is going to mean for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think there was a lot of contributors for the Bulldogs that were right there. I mean, when you're talking about scoring, but the impact that he had on the game, the defense was there the entire night, blocking some shots down low, really making things difficult for the Wolves offensively, and then also still leading. I mean, when you're talking about a guy that scored 14 points, led the Bulldogs in scoring, and you're still talking about a lot of room for improvement, I think that kind of shows you the type of season that Cam Regnerus could be in store for.
All right, let's get out of here. Like I said, we're back on the air 2 o'clock tomorrow. We have 3 games. I have 3 games. He's actually going to have to miss about one of those games. It looks like it was something that was pre-planned. So, unfortunately, tomorrow for Grandville fans, you only get me. I'm sorry. MichiganSportsRadio.com/MGN. Also, Michigan Sports Radio. The Listen Live page, you can find our game. We'll have 1 stream for the first 3 games. And then also the final game, Grand Rapids Catholic Central versus Rockford, also will be on Michigan Sports Radio. So we've got all-day coverage there. From Van Ord Arena, 57-53, Grandville over Wyoming. The Bulldogs 1-0. What a way to start the year for Coach Young's squad. He is Chandler Timmer. I am Nate Dry. I got it right this time. Didn't get it right on the tailgate report this week. I got my name. We'll see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow, 2 o'clock. We're back on there, MichiganSportsRadio.com/MGN. Congrats to the Bulldogs. They're 1-0. We'll see you later.